Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Cold Case and Coffees, or Coffee in a Cold Case, however you want to call it. Today, guys, we're looking into the strange disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley, and if applicable, of course, Alissa Turney. I appreciate you guys joining us today for that. Both are very interesting and sad situations and need some answers and some closure for the families, guys. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please hit the like button on your way in and share this out. Let everybody know what we're doing here today. With that being said, let's get this crazy show on the road. Here we go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, Arctic? How are you, sir?
I am exhausted. I think I got 2 hours sleep last night.
Good Lord. What's that all about?
I was up. Okay. So here's what YouTube did to me yesterday. After
Okay.
a certain point, after I uploaded all my videos, it kept failing to upload. And I was like, well, what the hell's going on? And then finally I see it says you've exceeded the upload limit for the day. You can upload again in 24 hours. And it literally would not let me upload again until midnight. So at midnight, I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an early start on tomorrow. And all the stuff that I had pre recorded and everything that I wasn't able to upload, I went ahead and uploaded. And then I caught up on other missing persons flyers. And then this morning, after I got Austin up for work, I went and recorded a cold case so it can premiere at 4:15 Central Time today.
I didn't know there was a upload limit. Truly.
I didn't know either. The poor people at Google, Lisa Joe started messaging them and harassing them when she found out about the upload limit. And
Uh,
I'll tell you what, it didn't take any time at all. And I was able to post to my community page. It took a little bit longer for the uploads to start working, but I'll tell you what, I finally sent her a message. I was like, okay, Lisa Joe, you can release their balls now. It's fixed.
I can imagine too. I can imagine she did. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good for you, Lisa. When did that start though? Because I mean, you've been uploading stuff like this for a long time. All of a sudden now there's a limit.
Well, what it was yesterday, I think, is because I had taken those 5 days off from being sick and not really uploading anything, and then I uploaded like 50 videos at one time. I think
Mhm.
that's what caused the it to trigger YouTube so bad.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you for standing up for it, Lisa. That's much appreciated. That way we can make sure that Google knows. At least they know Lisa Joe ain't playing. Period. They see her name coming again, they'll probably run. That's awesome. Well, at least it got worked out. So I take it you spent the night trying to fix all that stuff and releasing more, or is that what it was, or?
Yeah, so last night after everything was fixed and everything, I stayed up. I was like keeping an eye on all the web pages and everything. And so before I before the end of the night, like by 5 a.m., I'd already
Mhm.
put out like 12 videos for this morning to hit. So
Doinks. Yeah, we're gonna look at some of those first thing too, probably short wise, I should say. Never fails. You got to be probably one of the most productive creators out here as far as this stuff goes too. I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen, as often as much as you put them out. That is awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Did everybody get to join Mom's live last night that I didn't get to see again?
Yeah, it was good. I actually went over to the TikTok side of everything where Vlad's sister was streaming, and I got pulled up into a box on TikTok with them on panel over there, and we discussed a lot of ways that we can try to get Vlad's face out there and raise money at the same time. So it was very productive.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for supporting that as well. For those of you that were there, very much appreciated. Oh, let's see who we got in here with us real quick. Looks like, of course, Lisa Joe. Arctic, of course, here with me. Mama Bear said she'd be joining us. I'm not sure what she's doing right now, but she will. Steven, welcome back to you. Squishy Bum, great to see you. Tandy, Miss Tandy, no school today, I guess. Thank you for joining us. Victoria Burgess, welcome back to you. One Made Nut, my boy Eddie in the house again. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Bry Guy, Brian Rambles in the house. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you today. Rowena, that's what I was going to say too, Ro. He does. Harsh does 3, 4, 5 videos a day. I don't understand that, but okay. Good to see you, Miss Rowena. Thank you for joining us. Jody Walters, welcome to you. Again, no school today. Get a day off. That's wonderful to have you here. Heard it was snowing in Texas. Randy B, the OG. Mikey with the last 24 in the house. Good to see you, brother. Brandy, thank you so much for joining us. Miss Stormy, great to see you today. In Stitch is in the house. Good to see you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you very much. I did receive your email, and thank you so much for that as well.
Also, whoever asked me to cover Jennifer Kessie in here yesterday, I just wanted to let you know that's the cold case that I'm covering that's premiering today at 4:30 Central Time.
That's okay, Mama Bear. Take your time. So there will be a premiere on Arctic's channel, guys, at, say at the time again, Arctic.
4:30 Central Time.
There you go. There
or
you go.
4:15 Central Time.
We'll get the link in here in a minute for those of you that, I'm sure everybody in here has it, but just because. Ray Knightley, welcome and good morning to you. Thank you for joining us today. Again, guys, we're looking in today with coffee and a cold case. Looking into, I appreciate that, Stitches. I really do. It means a lot to me. Really does. We're looking into the strange disappearance behind Amy Lynn Bradley, who went missing from a cruise with her family, actually, quite a ways back. And then if we're able to, we're going to touch on or jump into the Alissa Turney case as well, which is another strange situation too. They all are. Good morning, Mama Bear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am Wonderful. Did you link it? Did you get it linked?
I'm working on it now. I just clicked on it. So I'm going to log in and see what happens.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, Mama Bear.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing good. Even though I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, I'm feeling so much better.
That's good.
I've been able to keep food down. I just feel like a whole different person.
That's awesome.
You sound a lot better.
Yeah, you sound like you're completely here instead of partially like you did. Welcome, Chris. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us today. Are you familiar with either one of these two cases, Arctic, by chance?
I'm sorry, I didn't even today.
Oh, it's okay. Amy Lynn Bradley, and the other name is Alissa Turney. Maybe not without seeing their faces.
Oh, I know Alissa Turney real well, and I've heard of Amy Lynn Bradley's case before.
Yeah, the Turney case, if we should be able to get to it, but it's a wild one, guys.
The Turney case needs to be a show in and of itself as much as is involved in that one.
Yeah, agreed. agreed, especially with her father and that whole. You guys will see. It's crazy. We may do a double up on that one. Run it today and then run another straight out show on it too. Because you'll see. You'll see. I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but it's crazy. Welcome, Peaky. Good morning. Good to see you. There's the Doodle Bug. Thank you for joining us, Doodle. Good morning to you. I don't think I missed anybody. See, it was new to me that we're talking about Alissa Turney. Yeah, it was new to me. I looked into it the other day and I wrote the notes down on it, so on and so forth. So Tomboy's in the house. Good morning, Tomboy. Alissa Turney's sister is the one, Sarah. Oh, I should have doink. Okay, I didn't put those two together. Thank you, Tomboy. So Sarah and Julie work together. Okay, that makes sense. Dirt. I'm a little slow. I told you guys. Give me a break here. We're gonna try this again. There she is. Welcome back. Ring around the rosy.
This is ridiculous.
You're on your PC, right?
Well, I was trying to do it on my laptop, but my laptop doesn't like it, so I'm gonna have to go back to my PC.
Okay. Good morning, Miss Jana. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you joining us today. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I would have liked to have spoken to her. Then again, I never learn my lesson and reach out to Lisa before I do this. I'm always cut with time, so it's hard for me to do these extra things. I would have known that. I stay here, so no work or school. We got 0 ice. They probably anticipated it, so they shut down early. They've done that here. Poor Doodle still has no power. Someone hit a pole. That sucks. Yuck. Sorry to hear that. I hope it doesn't affect your heat. No, you got that stove, so good. That's good. One. Yep. Jennifer, is that the CZ? Welcome. Well, you got snow. Everybody got snow days except for we don't have any snow. It all melted. So I guess we're done with ours, and now everybody else is getting theirs. How much snow did Texas get, guys? I didn't see any of that on the news today. Let's see here. Missouri got 11 inches, huh? Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
we didn't get that much here. We got maybe 2 inches is what we got. And it's like -1 real feel here. But my driveway and my street out front is already starting to clear. So I don't know how that works, but I'm glad.
Yeah, definitely. A dusting in Texas, but we have ice and below 0 temps. Yeah. And yes, Eddie, my snow melted, but which is weird because it's like I think it's 7 degrees, but the real feel is a -11 with the wind chill. So I don't get that. We had about 3 inches at most. Yeah, that's about right. It snowed for 2 days straight here, and it didn't really stack up too much, but it was nonstop snowing, small flurries. So, and it's pretty much gone now. The roads are all clear. There's no ice. It's just freezing.
Yeah.
It's cold as shit.
I was worried about you, Doodle, because you were supposed to have your live this morning, and then I saw it was canceled and everything. I was hoping nothing serious happened.
Yeah, I messaged her this morning and
Oh, I did too.
nothing, so I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, that sucks too. It's so cold you can't warm your house up here. I'm wrapped in my electric blanket. And let's try it again. Are you good? Did it work this time?
Not yet.
Up,
One more try.
up,
Then I'm throwing my computer. Log in.
Take your time. There's no huge rush. Ours will likely melt next week up here. Forecast is fine. Don't get too excited, Eddie, because it does the same thing here. It'll get warm and everybody's like, "Oh, yay, spring fever!" And then the next day you get a blizzard. So yeah, if your weather's anything like our bipolar weather here in Ohio, I'm telling you. Missouri people can't drive in the summer, so come winter, it's nice.
Arkansas people can't drive no time because they get their license out of Cracker Jack boxes.
I was gonna say, like, you'd think people that could. Good morning, Virginia. Good to see you, brother. And again, one more time. You'd think people that live through this in a regular, and you grow up in it, you learn how to drive in it, and there she is again. Hello, I see ya.
Still didn't work. Is it an issue with laptops?
No, shouldn't be.
This is
I
an
wouldn't
issue.
imagine.
It's
I'm gonna have
just-
to get with Doodle and see how she sends it to you that it works the way it does, because I send it like the same way I did it with her. She just sends me a link, I click on it, and boom, there it is. It's weird. I don't know.
Just get rid of my admin access.
I mean, that's up to you, but
No, that's up to you. Are you able to control stuff on your own?
I mean, yeah, I can, but it's easier sometimes, but that's okay. We can do that. I will do that today then. If that's what you want me to do, I'll fix that today.
I mean, we can see if that's easiest and if it's doesn't change
That-
anything.
Yeah, but if it worked the one time, I don't understand. But oh, you said you went in under a different
Yeah, and I didn't pay attention to what email I used.
okay. That's got you. I understand. It's okay. I'll work
We'll
it out.
just be like just co-host and host today again, and we'll figure it out later.
I'll get it worked out. It's no big deal. Absolutely. I'll fix it later on.
I did a video last night, so
I saw that. Good
my
job.
first video. It was
Very
it
good
was a little rough, but it was okay.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Very, very good, in my opinion. You
I
did
was
fine.
Canva.
You and Doodle are both the same, like doubting yourselves. Like, you guys do amazing things, and stop doubting yourself. You're both very good at what you do. So
That was wild when I found out about that website being on those Wicked dolls like that. That's crazy.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. And my granddaughter, Juniper, I can show you everything she got for Christmas and her birthday is all Wicked stuff, every bit of it.
Wow.
And I showed Brandy, and she went, "Excuse me?" I said, "Uh-huh." She goes, "Oh, no, no, no." And Junie's got a tablet that she likes to get on and do certain things, and she's obsessed with that movie right now. I said, "No, hell no. Nope."
Yeah,
I told her dad about it this morning. He was like, "Yeah, we're going to rectify that situation."
exactly.
That's just bullshit, though. What's the deal with that? For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, how long is that video, Mama Bear? Do you know?
It's not long. It's like, I think 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
she's-
this up and show you guys because it ain't cool at all. Especially if you have little ones, grandkids, or kids. The new movie. I mean, it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong. The way it was produced and all that, it was a nice movie. But when you're buying the products, I'm gonna show you. Hold on a
Yeah,
minute here.
that's on Mattel, not the people that did Wicked. So
Of course.
I bet Wicked's pissed.
Yeah, because they're probably gonna lose a whole hell of a lot of emphasis on their situation because of that.
And money.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, Lisa Joe said they put out a big statement about it.
I bet they
Tandy,
did.
the Wicked the musical.
There it is. All right, 1 second. Check this out, everybody. And also, I'm going to drop Mama Bear's link in here so that you guys can jump on over there, like and share it, and
Nice.
subscribe if you have it. That looks awesome, too, by the way. I love that.
Thanks.
Hold on 1 minute. Here is the link to Mama Bear's channel. For those of you that don't have it, please jump over, subscribe, like it. Good morning, Leslie and Billy. Good to see you. And please jump over, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss nothing, because things like this are important to know. And here you go. So thank you again for putting this together, Mama Bear.
You're welcome.
All right, let's check it out. Let me know if you guys hear it okay.
Hi guys, it's Crime Time with Mama Bear. Glad to see you. Hope everyone is doing well. I want to put up a trigger warning real quick about what we're going to discuss, just because some people may be triggered by it.
Morning, Cass.
If you are, please step out. Will not bother me in the least. So what we're going to talk about is, apparently, you guys have heard of the new musical Wicked. So Mattel has put out the new dolls. And on the back of the packaging, they put a website, which is www.wicked.com, which sends you to a porn site. Here, I tested this out to make sure that it was true. And here are the screenshots of the web address, wicked.com. And then here's what came up. So, apparently Mattel has made a big oops and now has a recall out for the packages. Now, I don't know if it is all of them or certain ones. You guys will have to research that if you've bought any of them. I do want to give a big shout out to Darlene J. Clark. She has brought this to everyone's attention. So that we can keep our kids safe. So I just wanted to let you guys know so that you're aware if you're out and about and want to buy your kids a Wicked toy, you might want to double check the website. So have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
And there it is. So, ouch. That's scary. And it's not like it's a password or encrypted, protected site. You can just click agree. Most kids can read that, hit that button, and woof, off you go into that world that they don't need to be in. So dangerous stuff. And I'm very thankful that you put that out, because like I said, my granddaughter, who you all know, is very into that situation. No.
And if they end up at that website, you don't know what type of story they're going to see Dorothy and the Scarecrow doing.
Exactly.
I checked it out, guys. It's real. It's a real thing. Just out of curiosity, I didn't stay there. Just saying, I clicked the thing, went into that website, showed Brandy. She was like, "Go look just to make sure how easy it is to get into." And it was bing, bang, boom. That's it. And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." I knew you were going to say something. Of all people in here, I knew you were going to say something, Cass. I knew. But yeah, it was, yes, guys, it was for research purposes. But it's dangerous, guys. So if you have parental locking or parental whatever on your devices, lock that out if you can. Please. Yeah, I clicked on it long enough just for it to open up to something. And there's still another, once you go in, another thing you got to do, but it's not anything at all for kids by any means. It's just not. So I was completely appalled when I saw it, because it's on the back of her jacket. She got a jacket for Christmas. It's a Wicked, like a coat. That website is advertised. Okay. So they should have looked into that and researched that website. I understand that there could be multiple websites that lead to different things that have the same type of name. So they should have researched before they built that and checked into everything, knowing that this is a toy company. Okay. In my opinion, and made sure that it wasn't going to lead to something like that, because I can't remember what it was before. There was another website that happened with back years ago that it was very innocent sounding. You click on it and boom, it took you to that. So bad stuff. And I wonder that too, Eddie. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And it's probably because we all do what we do in here. You got to wonder if it's, I know there's a lot of people that will automatically go, it's a oh Jesus, I can't think right now. A good God. Predatory, what is the word, Arctic, when you oh, this is insane. I just went completely brain dead. When they take you and they make you the way they want you to be. What the hell?
Grooming.
Grooming. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes, that was insane. So it makes you wonder, and I know that seems like a reach in some senses. Is it a grooming site to get kids interested in things like? I mean, I know that sounds a bit much like a reach, but come on. These days,
I think it was just a misprint
That's
because
what
I
I
think
think.
that I think the real website was supposed to be like wickedmovie.com, and inadvertently they put wicked.com, not knowing what that site actually was.
Mhm.
You know, I can
Well,
remember back when I was in high school when the Sony Handycams came out and everyone was excited to get them, and then we all got our Handycams and realized that you could see through people's clothes with them.
yeah, that stuff, all those things. Well, they were selling things like that for those reasons too. It was pretty wild. Um, yeah, I agree with that. And yes, chicken skunk monkey pie. Thank you, Doodle, for that insightful message there. But the it's probably is a mistake. Like I said, they probably didn't research that website, seeing if there were any other names. Because, like I said before, in the past, White House, that was it. Whitehouse.com. I think I was in high school. Or no, not high school. It was right after, because we didn't have internet when I was in high school. Right after I was very young. I think after my first child was born, I was on dial up. And you could type in www.whitehouse.com thinking it's going to take you to stuff about the government or the White House, and it opens up immediately to, it did then at least, a online porn site. So yeah, things like that. So there is a lot of websites out there that are probably like that. So please be careful with what your kids are looking up. Make sure that you're looking at it first, maybe, especially if they're young, very young, as most the kids that would be looking this up would be very young. Okay. That's a problem. And I would never want my granddaughter to go to that on her tablet, click open, hit agree, and walk into that mess, because that would break. I would want to hurt somebody at that point then, because she doesn't need to see that stuff. So,
Oh Lord, I can just imagine opening up that whitehouse.com website and it opens up to a video of actors dressed like Monica and Bill in the White House.
it didn't do that. That's hilarious to think of. I don't even know if that's even still active. That was so long ago. I'm gonna look right now though. Let's see if it does anything. Looks like they might have changed it. I just put whitehouse.com and it says the White House. Now, before, when you did that, it went directly to that first. See, my Google's different though. It could open up to it still. Briefings and statements, yeah. Unless it was a redirect. I don't know, but oh, there it is. Whitehouse.com. Your favorite 90s porn site is now Vice. There it is. Whitehouse.com goes to porn. CNET. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Lisa Joe, when I was a kid, my parents didn't know how to do the parental controls and stuff on. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I was all over AOL back in the day, finding stuff that I shouldn't have been looking at, and yeah, and it's crazy because AOL was like the easiest one for them to put the parental controls on, and I was like, okay.
I'll be damned, Arctic. I'll be damned. This thing here, I went to the one, okay, and it says whitehouse.com, the naughty non-government website of late 90s video. And I'm gonna show you a quick glimpse, you guys, of what Arctic just said. Look at this. Look who that is. Now the rest of it around him has little links that you can click on to go to these other things. So yeah, unbelievable. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it is what it is. So stay away from that one too, guys. So tell your kids if they're going to do a report on the White House, not that one. That's all I'm saying. But these things should be locked out automatically. That's the one thing about the internet that I'm not very fond of, never have been, is that we, as our kids, have the ability to do those things without us knowing it in some senses. I knew that was going to bring some interesting.
Oh Lord. I can just hear Bill Clinton now too. First off, let me say, Hillary and I feel your pain. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Monica was looking hungry, and I was just offering her a stack.
Oh, I can't with you. I can't. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Captain Jenks is in the house. What's up, brother? Good time to walk in. Good time to walk in. Oh, Lisa. I bet impeachments without Monica are disappointing. Is it an impeachment or a impeachment? Which one is it? I'm going to... Oh, my God. I'm going to... Oh, and I don't have power. Damn it. Bill. Don't pee yourself. Don't pee. Don't pee. Don't pee, damn it. Don't pee. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. But anyway, so that is a very serious situation, you guys. All jokes aside, it does lead you into a domain that you do not want your children in, period. So please check it out. If you have the ability to lock things out like that, please do that one first and foremost. And I'm sure they'll get it dealt with, but there's still that period of time where we can still go to it right now. That's a problem. Yeah, that was a really good impression of him. I liked it. Just so you guys know, a lot of you don't know this, but Arctic did stand up and does very good impressions in some sense. Oh, Lord. That was too funny. All right, guys. I do want to start off as we do every morning.
Hey, Chick Bait.
Every show. Welcome, Chick Bait. Hold on a minute. 1 second.
Yeah, I did notice that too, Virginia, when I was doing the research for my video. Them dolls are going for big money on eBay.
What?
Those wicked dolls are going for big money on eBay.
Gotcha. Doodle, please check Discord, ma'am, if you wouldn't mind.
Glad to have you back, Cap.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Cap. I was wondering where you were. 1 moment. I gotta check something here.
Oh, did you watch that video that I sent you, Dago, that I made last night?
I saw it on Facebook. That was hilarious.
I'm still working on the script. I'm going to work other parts into it, but it's oh my God. I'm doing a commercial about a class action lawsuit.
I don't know. Is there
It's in your Discord, in your private messages.
okay. Mods, check the mods chat real fast, please. Oh, is it a 2 guys and a woman?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get to see that. I didn't even see it. It was in there.
It's not where I want it to be yet. I'm going to add some stuff to it, but
do you want me to play it? Or is it not ready to be played?
You can. I mean, I'm going to redo it, but
Let's see what we got here then. I'm always up for a good laugh. Let's see.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cap.
What's the matter? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, his brother is in ICU. And
I am so sorry.
oh no. Send in prayers, Cap.
Sleep deprivation. Jesus, bro. I hope you're all right, brother. Prayers and thoughts for you and your brother. And we're here with you, bro.
Hi,
Please
Abigail.
take care of your welcome, Abigail. Take care of yourself, please, and heal up. And I hope your brother heals up too. Let's see what this is here, real.
Hello, citizens. Have you been traumatized by a YouTube creator who just refuses to wear pants? Do you have flashbacks of the incident that happened that night behind the Chili's? Are you traumatized by seeing a creator constantly put flyers up on places that she's not supposed to be putting them up and harass the parents of missing children? Well, you may be entitled to a sum of money as part of a cash settlement. The law firm of Jonathan, Lee, and Richards would like you to contact us if you have such an issue with said creator. We are currently taking people's information for a class action lawsuit that will hopefully bring this bedbug to justice. If you're interested, comment down below.
And what I'm going to add to that is, have you been traumatized by a creator with lopsided titties that's left your dick so limp that it reminds you of last night's spaghetti from Olive Garden? Or maybe you were in a washed up mortician's chat and his monkey threw feces at you because you wouldn't send a super chat. You may be entitled to compensation.
Oh my God, Betty.
Oh, that was awesome.
Bed bug Betty. I love it. Thank you so much, Cap. Oop, where'd it go? There it is. Thank you so much, brother, for that super chat. We appreciate you so much. It's great to have you back, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate you. And I hope you get to feeling better, brother. Absolutely, absolutely.
Hi, my Brian.
I love it, Arctic. I love it. I looked at the picture and I'm like, that reminds me of like what you'd see on a commercial with attorneys advertising themselves,
Right.
So that was great.
I saw that first thing this morning. I just lost. I was like, oh my
I didn't
God.
even know it was back there. Didn't even know it was back there. That was too much. Too much. All right, guys. Let's jump into what we do here real quick. Get some of this stuff out and then get on the ball with it. It's good to have a good laugh before we get into some of this stuff that we deal with anyway. So that's helpful. Definitely helpful. Welcome, Peggy, Matahari. Good to see you guys. All right, here we go with this. First out of the gate.
What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 18-year-old Jeremiah Jamal Frazier, who is missing out of Flint, Michigan. Jeremiah is 5'8" tall and weighs 140 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. The Flint Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating the missing man. Jeremiah was last seen on the 21st of August, 2024 at his home in the 1900 block of Howard Avenue in Flint, Michigan. He was also later reportedly seen near Pearson Road and Cloverlawn Drive. Jeremiah is 5'8" tall again, 140 pounds with black hair and brown eyes, and was last known to be wearing a pair of skinny jeans. Anyone who has any information on Jeremiah or his whereabouts is asked to get in contact with the Flint Police Department at 810-237-6951.
Someone once told.
Sorry, guys, hang on.
What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 15-year-old Ariana Cosme, who is missing out of Neptune Township, New Jersey. Ariana is 5'1" tall with brown eyes and black hair. The Neptune Township Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating the missing teenager. Ariana was last seen in the area of Webb Avenue in Neptune Township, New Jersey on the 14th of February, 2025 at around 8:08 a.m. She was last known to be wearing black pants, a black jacket, and black sneakers with a silver lining. Anyone who has any information on Ariana or her whereabouts is asked to get in contact with the Neptune Township Police Department at 732-988-8000, extension 432. What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 1-year-old Ezra Lee Aragon, who is missing from Pueblo, Colorado. Ezra has been missing since the 26th of July, 2024. He is believed to be with his non-custodial mother, Brittany Ramsey, who lost custody of the child. Ramsey has history in Ordway, Colorado, and possible ties to Walworth, Texas. The current whereabouts of the two are unknown. The last known vehicle that Ramsey was driving is described as a 2015 green Ford Explorer bearing Colorado tag number CQT033. Anyone that has information on Ezra or his whereabouts is asked to contact the Pueblo Police Department at 719-553-2502 or Pueblo Crime Stoppers at 719-542-7867.
By the way, Arctic, do we have any updates that you know of on Sophia Franklin?
No, there was a video, I think, that law enforcement released of the car outside the residence, the block up the street, but that's really it. They are still focusing on Arkansas. And then there's another case out of Texas that's been upgraded to an Amber Alert 4 weeks after the fact. So
Where do we have that one in the back by chance?
Yeah, it's in the videos that I put out if you keep scrolling.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So Sophia Franklin, and by the way, for those of you that aren't familiar, is the 16-year-old girl that's 3 months pregnant that was taken by her predator, as I'll call him, and they've been missing for almost a month now. Okay. And I think it was since the 2nd of February, and there's still no updates on that one. We need to bring that little girl home and put that piece of shit in jail. So I keep checking on that every day, just hoping that something will happen with it.
What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 14-year-old Ocean Jones, who is missing out of Toledo, Ohio. Ocean was last seen at around midnight on the 11th of February, 2025 in the area of Sylvania Avenue and Central Avenue in West Toledo, Ohio. Ocean is 5'4" tall and weighs 125 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. Her ears are pierced. It is unknown what she was last known to be wearing, and her direction of travel is also currently unknown. Ocean's family and friends are very concerned for her safety and her well-being. Anyone who has any information on Ocean or her whereabouts is asked to contact Toledo Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111, or if you see her, you can simply dial 911. What is going on, guys?
He's been found safe, I believe.
I'm sorry, bud. What'd you say?
Christopher's been found safe, I believe.
Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear.
What is
That's
going
an
on,
old
guys?
case. That's a cold case, but you can play it if you want to.
No, I want them out there either way. Especially these ones are really, yeah, definitely.
This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a bit of an older case, guys. We're looking into the disappearance of Kelly Holland Jr. Kelly was only 6 years old when he went missing from Larks Lane, Kentucky on the 12th of February, 1982. At that time, he was 6 years old, 4 feet tall, and weighed 60 pounds. Kelly's school had canceled classes on the 13th of February, 1982 due to a heavy snowstorm. He stayed at home with his mother, Judy Moore, in their residence on Larks Lane in Pine Tree Hollow in Knox County, Kentucky. Kelly went outside to play in the family's front yard at around 11 a.m. His mother stated that she told him he was not to leave the yard.
She last checked on him at around 4 p.m. And at that point, she went to a neighbor's home to answer a phone call. She didn't have a phone of her own. When she returned, Kelly was no longer in the yard and he was never seen again. Kelly has been born with a cleft palate and has a speech impediment as a result. There is an age-progressed photo of what Kelly may look like today in the inset photo on his flyer. Anyone with information on Kelly or his whereabouts is asked to contact the Kentucky State Police at 606-435-6069. What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 2-year-old Joshua Redondo Cruz, who is missing out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. There's a silver alert issued for the missing toddler. Joshua is 2'5" tall and weighs 30 pounds. He was last seen on the 13th of February, 2025. The Connecticut State Police have issued a silver alert for the missing 2-year-old. Joshua was last seen on Wednesday. He has black hair and brown eyes, and authorities said that he is 2'5" tall, weighing 30 pounds. It is unknown what he was wearing at the time of his disappearance, and his direction of travel is also currently unknown. We're talking about a 2-year-old boy here, folks. He could have gotten so far in this period of time. Why there's not an Amber Alert out for this child, I'll never understand. Do me a favor, if you have any information or if you see Joshua, contact the Bridgeport Police Department by dialing 911. What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a case that I've previously covered on the channel, and that is the case of David McAfee, who is missing out of Newmarket, Tennessee. David was last seen on the 28th of October, 2022. At that time, he was 31 years old. David is 6'2" tall and weighs around 240 pounds. David was last seen by his fiancee in bed at around 7:15 a.m. on the 28th of October 2023. When she returned home from work at 3:45 p.m., he was gone, and multiple calls to his phone went unanswered as it was turned off. At 6:43 p.m., she received a crash detection alert from his phone in the Jefferson City area, but upon arriving at the location, she found no crash or sign of David. The following day, his phone was pinged in the Walnut Avenue area of Jefferson City, but there has been no activity since. David originally went missing from his home in Newmarket, and his phone was later found in Jefferson City after the crash alert. Despite no crash being reported, he has several identifying tattoos, including a vertically positioned locket on his left arm, a skull with blue eyes on his right arm, a rebel flag on the back of his left shoulder, ACR in black cursive on his right bicep, and a large green, black, and blue star between his pointer finger and thumb. His family and friends are concerned for his safety and well-being. There are a lot of red flags in this case, guys, and a lot of things aren't adding up. So we do need to continue to keep David's face out there on social media. Do me a big favor, guys, and give this video a like for sure and share it out to all your social media. If you have information on David or his whereabouts, please contact the Jefferson County Sheriff at 865-765-6422. What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of 15-year-old Peyton Cox, who is missing out of Neptune Township, New Jersey. Peyton is 5'8" tall and weighs 130 pounds with brown curly hair and brown eyes. The Neptune Township Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating the missing teenager. Peyton was last seen in the area of Valley Drive in Neptune Township, New Jersey on the 16th of February 2025 at around 7:30 p.m. She may be traveling to the New York City area. It is unknown what Peyton was wearing at the time of her disappearance. Her family and friends are very concerned for Peyton's safety and her well-being. Anyone who has information on Peyton or her whereabouts is asked to contact the Neptune Township Police Department at 732-988-8000. What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are...
Okay, so is this the one you were talking about, Arctic?
No, just I think it's one or two down if you just want to scroll through the next couple till you get to it.
Oh,
What is going...
I want to leave this one up, though.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the...
By the way, guys, if you're not familiar, this case here has been ongoing for a minute, as we can see from 2021. This is a very, very precious case to Mind of Monsters' mom. For those of you that aren't familiar, she's been very, very, very involved in this, along with Vlad's sister, in helping to try to bring him home and get a lot of his information out there. So she's been very, very involved, and it's very important that a lot of people see this, because it never, in my opinion, got enough airtime and attention per se. So if anybody could share this one out, they all need shared, but please share this out through your social media accounts as well. If you have not done that yet, it would be very much appreciated by Mind of Monsters, Vlad's sister, and everybody that has tried to cover and has covered Vlad's case.
The channel today. We are looking at a case that I've previously covered on the channel, but the case is growing cold and I wanted to get his name back out there again. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of Brian Vladik Hassel, who is missing out of East Orlando, Florida. Brian, who often goes by Vladik, was last seen on CCTV footage at Foxtail Coffee Company on University Boulevard in Orlando, Florida on the 6th of November 2021. His last reported sighting or encounter with Vladik was at his apartment complex, the Place at Alfalfa, on the 15th of November 2021. There have been no reported sightings since that time. Vladik's family and friends, especially his sister Bethany Hassel, have been extremely proactive in trying to get his face and get coverage for his disappearance. Anyone that has information on Vladik or his whereabouts is asked to contact the Orange County Sheriff's Office at 407-254-7000, or you can simply dial 911 with any information. And remember, no tip is too small. What is going on?
That's it.
Yeah, Nevaeh Norwood. Okay.
Yep.
And again, guys, that case that we just looked at, Vladik, is, again, share that one out. Again, I want them all shared if they can be, but that one, like Arctic said, is starting to go cold, and it really needs some attention to it in a bad, bad way. So,
And it's believed that Vladik's no longer in the Orlando area. So no matter where you are, share
Right.
that out. Now, he doesn't have a passport, so he couldn't have left the country. So he's still within the United States, but he's out there somewhere.
somewhere, yeah, definitely. And it definitely, like they were saying, his sister Bethany and a lot of people really, really need him home, and they need some closure to this situation. It's been ongoing. I think we're going on 4 years actually at this point. I would
Yeah,
believe.
3.5 years right now is where we're at. Absolutely.
It's a long time, guys, with no answers, and that's just, they deserve that.
Guys, this is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a case that I've previously covered on the channel, but her situation has been upgraded to an Amber Alert. We're looking into the disappearance of 16-year-old Nevaeh Norwood, who is missing out of Temple, Texas. Nevaeh is 5'3" tall and weighs 203 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. The Texas Department of Public Safety have issued an Amber Alert for the missing teenager. Nevaeh was last seen in the 1100 block of East Avenue B in Temple, Texas on the 20th of January 2025. She was last seen wearing an orange hoodie and gray pants. Her family is extremely concerned for her safety and her well-being. Anyone who has any information on Nevaeh or her whereabouts is asked to get in contact with the Temple Police Department at 254-298-5500. Now, guys,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut that off.
Oh, it's fine.
What else were you going to say?
Oh, I went on kind of ranting about why it took so long for the Amber Alert to get put out, because she went missing in January and the Amber Alert didn't get put out till yesterday.
Oh, see, that's got to stop. That's really got it. There's so many of these cases that end up doing that kind of thing. That's got to stop. So yeah, 100%, guys. And if it's been upgraded, it should have been that to begin with. We all know that. Any child from the age of birth to 18 years old needs to have an Amber Alert put out on them. I say this every day, regardless of what happens, as soon as they go missing, so that we can hurry up and get on top of the situation and bring them home faster without causing other issues, possibly, or them never getting to a point where they never are found. And that's the problem. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut that. I thought you were done with that
Oh,
one.
no, it's not a problem at all. And Matahari, yeah, it's believed that Vlad is alive. He could have very well gone off the grid because he is a former Marine and he would be able to survive off the grid like that.
It would be an amazing thing to bring him home alive, well, and healthy to his family. It would mean the world to them. And I think a lot of people that would be overly ecstatic to see that happen, guys. So anyone that can share that anywhere you can, please do. Please do. I think we got one more to roll, guys, and we'll get moving on with other stuff. And that's another point too. Doodle said we all did a little. I did a little thing on him. I think Doodle did. I know Arctic did. Mom definitely has. She says yes, and he loved to help the homeless. That's a point. That's an absolute fact. So you never know. He could be found in a homeless camp somewhere, just helping out down in there, doing stuff like that. So there's so many possibilities with him, but it is believed that he is alive. So.
What is going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a cold case that I've previously covered on the channel, but we need to get more coverage on the case. Today we are looking at the missing persons case of Asha Degree, who is missing out of Shelby, North Carolina. Asha went missing on the 14th of February, 2000. It has now been 25 years since her disappearance, and she deserves justice. Asha was only 9 years old when she disappeared from her home in Shelby, North Carolina. Now, 25 years later, new evidence suggests that Asha may have been the victim of foul play. Investigators believe her case is linked to the Dedmon family, with DNA found on her belongings pointing to individuals connected to them. Asha's backpack was discovered 30 miles from her home, but her whereabouts remain unknown. Anyone with information on Asha or her whereabouts is asked to contact the FBI's Charlotte office at 704-672-6100, or you can dial 911. What is
All right, guys, that'll handle that. I appreciate you guys seeing those and sharing those if you can. Absolutely, Doodle. It's just a sad situation. These cold cases are really sad to me. These families, imagine the things that these families go through for all these years with nothing, no answers, and it just bugs me. It really does. So thank you again, Arctic, for doing all those. I appreciate that very much.
No worries at all.
And again, guys, I dropped it in here a couple times. Arctic's link is right here. If you have not gone over there and checked it out, please do. Like, subscribe if you have not yet done that. Hit the notification bell, because Arctic puts out so many of these. You don't want to miss any of them, guys. And he does an amazing job at it. So again, thank you, brother, for everything you do with that. Very much appreciated. All right, guys. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for popping in here, hanging out with us. Looks like we have 32 peeps in the house. And 1 second. What happened here? Hold on. 27 likes. Let's see if we can make that match, guys. Share this out. Let everybody know what we're doing in here. And let's get some things rolling. 1 second here. Hold on. Okay, welcome, Squishy. Good to see you. Yeah, we had talked about that yesterday, Squishy, that golf inspector had passed away sadly again. Um, if any, hey, welcome again, Mike. Good to see you too. If anybody did know her, um, it's a very sad situation. So just say a little prayer for her family and her, of course. And may she rest in peace. She was a good person, a very sweet lady, and she spent a lot of time here, and she will definitely be missed. Definitely. For those of you that didn't know that. Okay. Hold on here. All right, let's get this one rolling. That was one of the first things that got me too with this was they're not supposed to do that. My grandmother and my aunts have gone on a lot of cruises. They don't interact with you in that sense like that, and they paid a lot of close attention to her, which makes me nervous as well, especially wanting to take her off boat in a foreign country is unnerving.
Mhm. You know, when I first saw Amy's case, because I remember it now, it's coming back to me now that
Yeah,
I'm watching this. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Natalie Holloway case in a way.
it sure does, doesn't it? Absolutely, definitely. And I honestly, guys, I'll just tell you right up front before it even gets to it. I feel like this is a trafficking situation. I have since I first saw this. And you'll see why. And I had to wonder if the people that work on the crew for this ship got involved in a group of people, and that's how they were doing it. There's a lot of people that go missing on cruise ships every year that end up in trafficking situations. It's a bad situation if you look up the stats. So keep that in the back of your mind while we're watching this. And that right there is all I had to hear. Okay. It very easily could be people put in positions in different places within these groups to isolate specific people, get them wrapped up in whatever, drug them, however they got to do what they're
Absolutely.
going to
That's
do.
what I was just fixing to say. Get her
Yeah.
out to a bar alone, drug her drink, and the next thing you know, she's gone, traffic, nowhere to be found again.
Right. And there have been sightings of Amy since this happened, guys. It's been a long time. Okay. You'll see one specific that really burnt me. I was like, holy shit, that's her. And I truly, very comfortably can tell you this is what I think happened to this girl. It's sad. But I do believe that's it. And could she still be alive? Absolutely. Or did they get nervous and have to do things? That happens too. And I hope that's not what happens with this case. I don't.
Now, isn't this the case where someone had convinced the family that they had information as to where Amy was and all this, and then it turned out that it couldn't have been her because the tattoo on her back didn't match?
Well, there was that happened, yes. But there is a tattoo on her that is very close to the tattoo she had, which is yes. There was a sighting of her in a brothel. There's a photograph. I believe they're going to show it here, and it's aged, of course, because she aged. Different hairstyle. Her hair grew out and all that, but it does have the same look to her. It's kind of a side view of her kind of grinning. Obviously, she's not smiling in the one picture, but you can see why people would think it's her. Her parents are absolutely 100% convinced it's her. So it is absolutely a thing, Mikey. Big time. Big time. I mean, think about the situation. You're in foreign countries regularly, okay? And these people will grab you and to keep you in their countries, and that's how they can do it. So this is why I don't know. I'd like to know what the the cruise companies, how they hire their people and what they do background checks and all that kind of stuff. Because it would be very easy to get hired into doing something like this and then sneak up and do your thing. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal, though, Mike. I looked it up, and it is a real thing, and it happens all the time. So,
hiding are her cigarettes and lighter.
this all happened in a 20-minute period of time, mind you. Okay, and remember, as they said, because he had woke up once. Her brother last saw her at 4:15. They were sitting there together. Then the father woke up at 5:15, saw her still sitting in the chair. Laid back down, sat back up. About 20 minutes later, she's gone, and her cigarettes are gone. Okay. and they were getting ready to disembark from a port they were in a specific city, right at that moment. So that's a problem to me. That should be the main place that should have been searched, in my opinion. But I don't know how that all completely went down.
What year did this happen? I missed it.
Oh shoot! What did my? I wrote it down. I can't. 1 minute. 1 minute. It's been a while. I have it written in my other notebook. I'll find it for you.
Okay.
Sorry, you would ask me that question when I don't have it with me. I'll look it up though. I'll give you the exact date. Hold on.
Okay, no worries.
January 23rd, 2006.
She went up to the
January 23rd. What year?
2006.
Okay, thank you, Arctic. I knew it was in that realm. I just didn't want to give you the wrong answer.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry. March 20. Hold on a second.
No, I was gonna say March.
March
I don't-
23rd, 1998.
Okay.
Okay.
See, too many names and cases for us to look at, guys.
Right.
Yeah, I have it written in my other notebook that's in the living room because I was updating things with it this morning and I didn't bring it in here. But yeah, okay, there you go, Mama Bear.
deck.
And there's the problem: is if this happened, she was taken immediately off the boat. In my opinion, there's no, or she was hidden somewhere in the boat until a specific period of time. But those one of those two things is what happened with this. So regardless of whether they did that, they weren't going to find her, in my opinion. If they did take her, they took her. It was in the middle of the night, early morning when everybody's sleeping, grabbed her and off the boat they went. Nobody's going to see that. Okay. So, which I still believe there should be. I don't know what the deal is. I've not been on a cruise boat. There should be CCTV cameras everywhere, in my opinion, and or security, period, for these reasons.
True, but back in 1998, the cameras weren't nearly as prolific as they are today. So
no, definitely not. I agree, but I think there should be 24-hour security that walks the boat overnight because people have been known to fall off the sides, jump, get thrown, things like that. So there should always be somebody walking us. Hey, Kimber, good to see you. See, that's bullshit to me, and it bothers me that if you have a person that goes missing, they should automatically lock it down, just like the parents wanted. I don't understand how. I don't keep it on schedule or not. I don't give a shit. Somebody goes missing, and they told their parents, well, she's probably swimming, or she's here, or she's there, and then we're making excuses for her being missing, and didn't even think about looking overboard or anything else. Had to keep to that schedule. That is bullshit. That needs to be changed if it hasn't yet. Okay, because this again was in 98. So that to me is an issue. Okay, unless it's, I don't know if that's the way all of cruise ships are. I've not been on one, but I've heard a lot about them. But I've heard that they do try to always keep to their schedules because they have to be in certain places at certain times. That's still, somebody goes missing, God forbid a child goes missing. No, you don't change. You stop everything, in my opinion, and find these people, and then you go on with your schedule. That's how that should be, truly. And if you guys remember right, the bass player was the one that the waiter kind of nodded to and had been paying attention to her as well, a little more attention than should be that night too. So again, one more piece of info that kind of leads me to believe these groups, again, guys, they work in teams, okay? And it's been known these trafficking groups will work in 2 and 3 pairs of people to do different things to get these people where they need them. Huge red flag, CZ, huge. So very interesting to me.
Odds that this person would know.
And that's what my thought was. The thing is, they should have, in my opinion, searched every cabin, which is again why they should have stopped everything, in my opinion. Every single cabin, broom closets, whatever they had, kitchen, anything, everywhere on that boat should have been searched by the crew and people, but they refused to alert or upset any of the other people on the boat, which is bullshit to me. Yeah, there's definitely no laws in international waters, so they can do what they want pretty much out there and not be prosecuted for that kind of stuff, which is very scary to me. So And that's another good point, Eddie. Was it purposely done that way? Could be. Okay, this whole thing could be an issue. Could be a whole plan, I guess you could say, if you look at it that way. So what they're talking about here is the photographs that are taken. There's a big display case that goes up there, and all the ship photographs that are taken, they put them on that display board, and then they allow for family members to buy them or the people themselves to buy them, so on and so forth. All of the pictures that were taken of her conveniently disappeared. Why? That's weird to me. To erase her so people don't, think about it, maybe. I don't know. But they were all removed, completely disappeared out of nowhere. Nobody has any idea where they went conveniently. So another big, huge red flag, in my opinion.
Of Amy, investigator.
Now, I don't listen. I swear to you, as much as the family does, that's her. If you take the hair off, okay, look at her eyes and her nose and stuff, guys. That really, truly does look like her to me. I looked at this a lot, this picture, and then I went back and looked at the other one. They're going to show us side by side, I believe. But again, it truly does look like her to me, and it really just blew me away. Which is, all of this to me is proof, and people can say that it's bullshit, so on and so forth. These trafficking scams and these other, I don't want to say foreign countries, but you know what I mean, like Jamaica, the Caribbean, places like that, are definitely real deal scenarios, folks, and they're dangerous as hell because it happens all the time. So
Yeah, absolutely it does.
And it's scary as shit. It's scary as hell. This is why people don't want to do things anymore. So, but to me, yes, this is her. When she was taken, she had very short hair, very straight hair. And of course, for what she's doing here, they want her to look this way. That to her is me. And I agree with her parents wholeheartedly. Or, I mean, that to me is her. I said that backwards. Sorry.
Tasked with comparing the photo of Jazz with photos.
There we go. So the reason why it's hard to look at, but look at her eyes. If you were to put eyeliner and all that other crap on her eyes, look at the eyes.
I don't know. I mean, it does resemble her, but the photograph on the left-hand side, she looks significantly older than Amy does to me.
Well, she is. She is. This is in 05 that this was given to. So this is her in 98. This is her by 05. So
that would make sense.
And if she's been put into, think about this too, bud. If she's been put into the trafficking world,
that would take a real toll on you, and you'd age quick. Absolutely.
Now, one other thing, because when I look at stuff like this, I analyze these things a lot, guys. Her ear looks the same. I know it's a blurry photo, but it kind of resembles that too. The chin, the neck itself, if you can imagine that in itself, so the eyebrows, the nose, she's got a small nose, and she has thin lips. I mean, the whole, it is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, that is her to me. Just add all that other makeup. It's insane. And it's so scary to me and very, very sad. That's what I'm saying, Cap. The earlobes, well, because of the earrings, I think. Okay. But this part up here, I think it's called the clef up top here. The way that wraps around like that to me looks the same. Okay. The gap between her eyes and the eyebrows looks exactly the same to me. And again, the nose and the way the nose is shaped here, where the curve comes in underneath above the nostril, looks the same to me too. It's just uncanny to me. It really looks like her to me. Longer hair, aged, probably she almost looks aged by 10 years in a set. But again, in the sex trafficking trade, guess what? You know what I mean? One other thing I noticed too is this little, I don't know what this is actually called here. Not really a dimple, but the way that crest there on the side of the cheek is the same to me too.
And in fairness, they've got her dressed up in all that hooker makeup, and she probably wouldn't look nearly as old if she didn't have all that on. So
exactly, yes. That was the main thing I noticed first, CZ, was the gap between the eyes and the eyebrows and the nose, personally, and the bridge of her nose right here. Okay, it's just too uncanny. And her eyes she has a specific look in her eyes. You see it, okay? They call them bedroom eyes, I guess you could say. The sads, they kind of come down a little bit. That makeup doesn't even hide it completely, but it does a little. You can see it, in my opinion. So I just was like, holy shit, that's her, that's her, that's her. So, and it's just sad that this has gone on this long, and there's still no answer to this. And I have a bad feeling about this, the problem, because I know they were following every lead they got on this. They were stuck on this, which they should be. And stayed with this, and probably we're getting close to something, and I have a fear that something bad may have happened with this. I hope it didn't, but I'm just at this point kind of worried about that.
Of Amy would later claim that he was so sure the woman in the photo was Amy.
This is the other, but look at, it's the same type photo. Okay, tell me, you guys, that that's not her. Of course, she's not.
It does look like her for sure.
100%, dude. And
I wish that hair was off of her ear in the picture on the right so that we
Yeah.
could see the ear better, because the ears never change.
right.
So,
That's
but
what I
yeah,
would-
it does really look like her.
It's the same look. If we were to take this and shop it and take the hair off, again, if you follow this one here, the jawline comes down just the same exact way. Okay, the lips to me are the same. It's the look in the eyes that's getting me. Okay, the eyes are almost identical except for the camera lighting here that snapped that, but her nose has the same curve, the same end. I'm telling you, chin and eyebrow, and it still has that same gap in the eyebrows. I'm telling you, that is her. It is absolutely her, and it drives me nuts because I want to do something about it and I can't. You know what I mean? So I have no doubt in my mind
That he
Okay, so there is that piece of, or that segment on that. I'm telling you guys, I this was 21 was the last when this was done, okay? And I feel like this girl could still be alive and still being worked through that internet, that network, okay? And it's so unbelievable that what she's had to go through if this is true. And I truly do feel that those pictures, those photos, they had a lot of witnesses that were credible. And it just, to me, I that's what I think. That's where I think she's at. I do.
You
And the
know,
only go ahead.
I hate putting this out there, but I do wonder if anyone has ever tried reverse image searching those images to see if she shows up on any of these porn websites.
Agreed. It's a good point. Very good point. Absolutely good point. Now, I do have a couple updated things here with this. There's not a lot, but and it doesn't. Some of it shows some of the stuff we've seen in that documentary we just watched. Some of it's new, some of it's not. Either way, this one really grabbed a hold of me. What's up? Woke up. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Hey, Mom, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here today. But yeah, that's a good point, Arctic. A very good point. Very interesting. I would imagine the FBI would have done something like that, though, right?
I would hope so.
I would think so too. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard for me to look past those photos though, because they look so much alike to me. I would struggle to say that it's not her. That's all I'll say.
Years since a Virginia woman went missing while on a Caribbean cruise. The FBI says it is still investigating the mysterious disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley.
This is from 10 months ago, by the way.
The 23-year-old was last seen on the Royal Caribbean cruise ship Rhapsody of the Seas, March 24th.
Which photo, Mom? The one with her with the long hair came from a website, basically prostitution. What do they call an escort's website, and her name was Jazz on the website. She was also seen at some point in time before that, years before that, in a few years before that, I should say, a brothel over in these areas, and again looked the same. So I don't know.
1998.
So that evening, Amy was out at the disco with her brother, other passengers and crew, socializing and having a great time. In the morning, when her parents and her brother woke, Amy was gone.
The family reportedly said they started looking for Amy
Yeah, Kimber's right, Mom. That link that showed her parents received an anonymous link, which I wonder who that sent that, by the way. Anyway, sent an anonymous link to the parents, and that's when they opened it up. It showed them that photograph. So thank you, Kimber, for reminding me of that.
just as the ship was docking in the island of Curacao, and they don't know if she departed the ship or not. The FBI released age-progressed photos of what Amy Lynn Bradley might look like today. She also has tattoos, including a Tasmanian devil on her shoulder, a sun on her back, and a gecko on her navel. The agency is asking anyone who may have been on the cruise that day to contact your local FBI office or American consulate. For Inside Edition,
Okay, hang on here. And like I said, there's a couple videos I watched on this. Cruise ships have a lot of people go missing on them every single year. Okay, it's a regular thing at this point. So, one moment here. There was one other update. Oh no. Okay. That was the one. Okay, then that's it. Basically, it would be showing us all the same stuff that we've seen, so there's no point in going back to that. But again, that is the Amy Lynn Bradley case, guys. It really, really like haunts me. It's. I'm telling you, this girl is alive somewhere in those areas, and I don't know. It seems like they almost get to her, and then she's pulled away again. If that makes any sense, that's what it seems like to me. Like it's almost to where she's able to be rescued, and then boom. I could be wrong. She could no longer be with us, but just saying, the fact that there's the cruise ship thing happened, the international waters where there's no laws, these other areas over than the Caribbean and places like that do things in different ways. So wait a minute, what is this new?
Yeah, Rabbit is live with it right now.
What in the hell is going on? Hold on. Who is live with it?
Down the Rabbit Hole News.
The only one I can find is the one from Vince Neil.
I sent you her link to her live.
All right, hold on. Is it in Discord?
Back chat.
Back chat, got you. Hold on, let me see. Let's see what we got here.
To an aircraft collision. There have been at least one confirmed deceased individual. Details are limited at the time. The media staging will be in the large dirt parking lot outside of the Marana Regional Airport. So let me go to X real quick and see what is going on. Not Twitter. Hold up, y'all. Sorry. This is Blake Phillips. Let's go to Blake Phillips and find him. So we have another one. Yo, like it's just getting a little bit crazy now. All right, I'm pulling X.
I put the link to the Fox News article on it in the back chat too, Dago.
All right, let me pull that and see what we got. I'll be damned. This is starting to get a little insane to me, you guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but what the hell's going on? At least one dead in Marana plane crash, brief plane crash, or a plane crash on February 19th at Marana Regional Airport left at least one person dead. No victims have been identified. It's unknown what caused the crash. It happened on February 19th, located near Aber Valley, Sandana Roads. There's been at least one confirmed deceased individual. Details are limited at this point. Time, police wrote. NTSB is investigating a mid-air collision between a Cessna 172S and a Landcare 360 MK2 near Marana. Marana Police Department is currently on scene at the regional airport located at Aber Road. In reference to an aircraft collision, there has been at least one confirmed deceased individual. Details are limited at this point. Media staging will be in the large dirt parking lot. Holy shit. Mid-air collision again. Something's going on, y'all. Like, what the hell? This is crazy. Thank you, Arctic.
Yeah. As soon as I saw Rabbit was live with that, I was like, oh no, not again.
Unbelievable. This makes, what, 9?
They're happening every day now, it seems like.
Yeah, exactly. It probably just happened, so therefore there's not a whole lot of info yet. It'll come out. As soon as I see it, though, I'll show it to you guys. Wait a minute. Okay, that was the Vince Neil one at Scottsdale Airport 8 days ago. We just had the Delta one that flipped upside down. Unreal. This is every day, guys. Every single day we're getting something. And usually when we're in here doing this, somebody will pop in and say, hey, another plane crash. You know what I mean? It's insane. So, by the way, if anybody knows anything, has any information, sees anything about the Amy Lynn Bradley situation, if you're in, those areas or whatever, and just something happens to pop up, let somebody know, please, if you would. Let's see something here. Well, I'll be damned. Here we go. Thanks again, bud. Hold on a minute. There's no audio to this, but there's the smoke from it. A smaller Cessna and another plane collided midair. Thanks again, Arctic. It sounds like there is, Brian. Definitely sounds like there is. Like I said, when media catches up on it, we will definitely give you some info. Jesus. Unbelievable. All right, let's see what we got here. One moment. All right, guys, let me get this one set up and get moving.
Yeah, it just seems like we're hearing about a whole lot more of them here lately, Kimber. But you're right, especially the little puddle jumpers. They crash all the time, and you don't necessarily hear about it.
Well, Molly pulled up that list and showed us that they happen a lot. Very true. It's just the coincidence of them happening daily now and being put on the news like they are is a little crazy to me. That's all. Okay. I'm going to start off with this here. The next story we're going to talk about, you guys, is a lot of you guys said that you knew this one already. Alissa Turney. This is another crazy situation that I'm highly uncomfortable with. Welcome back, Mama Bear. And the fact that the person that I believe is responsible still walks free. So
Yep.
that's my opinion.
What type of piece of shit puts cameras all over the house to spy on their kids, and especially in their teenage daughter's bedroom and shit? I mean,
This guy, yeah, this guy's a freak and he needs help. Definitely needs to be locked away, in my opinion. Good point, Mom. Trending brings in the views, so planes crashing, is it? Yeah, it is. And then Kimber said most of your Cessna's, Pipers, and planes like that privately owned. Right. Absolutely. All right, guys, let's get this one moving.
What is up, Iwoo crew? It's the last day of school, and 17-year-old Alissa Turney has left early to get lunch with her father. With summer right around the corner, she's already made plans and was excited. Except there was a problem that could ruin her arrangements. Alissa disliked having to constantly report her whereabouts to her father and didn't want to come home early anymore. Her father, Michael, was trying to rein her in. He described her as out of control and planned to send her to California after claiming he found her smoking. Her father wasn't particularly close to his late wife's family, but they agreed to take her in until she was less rebellious. But Alissa would never make it to California. During lunch, Michael refused to give in and let Alissa do as she pleased. This wasn't the outcome Alissa wanted, and when they returned home, the situation got even stranger. Her sister Sarah was away on a field trip and wouldn't be picked up until later. Reports vary here, with Michael saying that he picked Sarah up and left Alissa at home despite her being visibly distressed. Sarah says that he never showed up, and she called him to tell him that she was staying at a friend's house before eventually being picked up late in the evening. On the journey back home, her father asked her to call Alissa after telling her that she wasn't answering the phone. She called multiple times, but there was no answer. And when they arrived home, she went to Alissa's room and found her phone vibrating. Her school bag had been emptied all over the floor and a note had been left. The note, apparently from Alissa, blamed her sister for her disappearance. At one point, she says, "Sarah, you wanted me gone. Now you have it." Something that upset Sarah. The pair fought like normal siblings, but those fights weren't what prompted her to disappear. Some find this note to be suspicious. Half-siblings, Alissa was adopted by Michael when she was 3 years old and was never considered a step-sibling. Anything that could create a feeling of being different within the family was forbidden, and all the children were welcomed into the family with open arms. Alissa wouldn't have an easy life, however. When she was just 8 years old, she lost her mother to cancer, leaving Michael to raise 2 young daughters. As she became a teenager, her relationship with her father deteriorated, causing serious friction between the pair. Installing security cameras in the vents of her bedroom and often forcing her to do homework twice, he would frequently insist that she had special needs. Nothing she did was neat enough for him, and it seemed like an uphill battle when it came to satisfying his constantly moving goalposts. The invasion of privacy didn't apply to her siblings. Her sister Sarah was even convinced that it was normal. At one point, even shown a clip of Alissa and her boyfriend making out recorded by one of the many hidden cameras.
Dad's a pervert.
Brainwashed into believing it was done out of concern after a robbery. It was only years later that she questioned why there was a camera hidden inside of the house. When she was moved into Alissa's old room, her father removed the cameras and even gave her a device to prove he wasn't monitoring her.
Alissa is stupid moron.
The double standards never bred resentment between the pair, and Sarah now campaigns extensively to help find her sister. Since leaving the house and escaping the brainwashing of her father, she can pinpoint many examples of double standards within the family. When Sarah smoked, despite being forbidden, there was no punishment. But even a hint of rebellion caused Alissa to be punished. Very little can be confirmed about the day Alissa went missing. Her father picked her up from school somewhere between 10 and 11 that morning, though she'd stopped by her boyfriend's classroom to say goodbye before leaving. Over lunch, the conversation had become heated, and Michael refused to let her stay out late without at least knowing where she was. This upset Alissa, but Michael stuck to his word, telling her that he'd be a nervous wreck if he didn't know where she was. Even this conversation is up for debate. Alissa and her father are the only ones who know the truth, and many close to her doubt that he's being honest. Refusing to submit a polygraph test or even an interview with police, the only evidence he has provided was through faxes, emails, and phone calls. Alissa hasn't been seen since her disappearance in 2001. No activity from her bank account and no verifiable attempts to make contact since that day. $1,800 was left in her account, something out of character for a runaway. Her makeup was untouched, hairbrush left behind, and phone still in her bedroom. The only thing missing was her bag, a black backpack. When investigating, detectives heard numerous stories about her father and his attempts to assault his daughter. Her boyfriend recounts an incident where her father took her out of school early, driving her to a deserted area and attempting to assault her in a way we can't exactly say on YouTube.
You guys don't want pictures?
Please.
These stories spanned years, and friends were able to mention graphic details that prompted authorities to investigate. His history of trying to hide this covers many years, having called CPS only a year earlier about his daughter. Though nobody knows what prompted the call, the context is disturbing enough. In the call, he said that if Alissa ever reported him, she was lying. He also clarified that the cameras and phone monitoring systems were for security reasons and had nothing to do with keeping an eye on his children. As the investigation continued, people continued to speak out about Michael. This led police to the conclusion that perhaps Michael would benefit from the disappearance of his daughter. After all, she wouldn't be able to accuse him of hurting her if she was gone. In 2008, Michael was taken into police custody after they discovered him carrying 2 guns and a knife as he collected his mail. The situation allowed them into his house, and they discovered 30 homemade explosive devices and a large collection of guns. In their search, they also discovered a 98-page manifesto containing a theory about Alissa's disappearance. His manifesto describes how the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers was responsible for Alissa's disappearance, convinced the union was seeking revenge after he complained about working conditions in the 80s. This was nothing like his previous claims of her running away to California, and Sarah called his theory into question. She says that while his complaint caused him to receive harassing phone calls, something her brothers can attest to and may have been responsible for one physical altercation, there is no evidence that they kidnapped and later killed Alissa. Believing that the union is a scapegoat for her father and that their actions had been blown out of proportion, this only supported her belief that her father knew something about her disappearance. Looking around the house, they found various homemade tapes of Alissa, along with a contract she'd signed. A year before she disappeared, she signed a document stating she'd never been mistreated by her father, something he later had notarized. These contracts that Michael created were analyzed by a forensic psychiatrist who concluded that Michael had an extreme need to control and dominate Alissa. This supported by his recording of all phone calls to the house. When asked about recordings from the home security system, he said they showed nothing of interest and destroyed them. This made police suspicious. But what sealed the deal was his claims that the phone recording system wasn't working when she called him a week after her disappearance. This call came from a payphone in California. Alissa apparently swore at him before hanging up. His unwillingness to share those recordings and later his destruction of them left more gaps in the case. Even if the recordings only showed her arriving at home, they may help to identify her and create posters. The fact that he never gave police a chance to conclude that there was, in fact, nothing of interest there only directed attention away from his daughter. Instead of focusing on finding her, people began to focus on finding him guilty. His initial call was set up to make her sound like a missing person, a runaway, instead of someone that had disappeared without warning after a vulnerable moment. Leaving behind money in her bank account meant she couldn't have gone far, and her behavior was atypical at best.
Oh, he's beyond off, CZ. He was actually arrested and acquitted, as they'll say, at some point. He's a creep, complete creep, and totally guilty of something, in my opinion, if not many of things. So yeah, way off, more than off, I'll say. Beyond controlling too, bro. This is a sicko. This guy's a sicko. He's a pervert. He's a creeper. He's everything you can be. Okay, except for a good dad.
Some recordings also came to light after her disappearance, showing Alissa at work. When questioned, Michael told reporters that he wanted to make sure she wasn't skipping work to party. Those that were close to her described
This shit, right? Who does this? This guy was, in my opinion, obsessed with his daughter in a very bad way.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah. I really wish we could reach out to Sarah and get her to come on and talk about the case, because she has been relentless in fighting for justice for her sister.
Oh, yeah. Yes, agreed. If I could, I would do a whole by itself show on this if we could get Sarah to join us. She's done amazing with this. She really has. The things I've seen, you guys. In fact, I have another piece we'll look at this that involves Sarah. So she's really been involved. And I didn't even realize, but my understanding is that she's worked with Julie in the Morimori sister, Julie. She's worked with her as well. So the two of them, both amazing driving forces. So it's beyond sad that the father was acquitted. And they did an interview with him after the fact, and they asked him, it's a creepy interview. They said, so what are your thoughts now? You know, how do you feel? So on and so forth. And he just kind of cringes and says, I told you before. And they're like, what would you say to her if you could speak to her? And he said the same thing I've always said. And they said, would you want her to come home? And he said, sure. And it's like, ew, you know what I mean? So the guy's a mess. He really is. So very creepy, very creepy.
Described her father as something akin to an abusive boyfriend instead of a concerned parent. And he consistently warned them of how gullible she was and that she wasn't able to take care of herself. It wasn't uncommon for him to sit in the car parked outside of her work, filming her and checking that she was where she was supposed to be. This made her and many of her colleagues uncomfortable, as he would sometimes come into the restaurant and sit staring at her. It was as if she couldn't escape him and his suspicions. If she was where she was meant to be, he would find her. But if she went elsewhere and avoided his watchful eye, there would still be suspicion when she got home. Punishments and shaming with nowhere to escape. At first, the family defended Michael, but as time went on, they grew suspicious. When Sarah heard how her sister had been treated many years after her initial disappearance,
They didn't say it yet in here, but he also made up a claim. Maybe they're going to get to it, but I don't remember hearing it. He made a claim to officials about the fact that she was assaulted, SA'd, as a younger child. There's no record of it, okay? And was telling everybody that that's why he does what he does, and that's why he's overprotected, blah, 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 so on and so forth. There's never been any record of it. There was
I would
nothing.
be willing to wager that if she was SA'd when she was younger, that the dad's the one that did it.
Thank you very much. 100%. And he almost acts as like a jealous boyfriend. He doesn't want her talking to boys, guys. He doesn't, it's disgusting. I've never seen anything like it, truly. It's beyond obsessive. And so that claim that he made about that, it was put out to people. I mean, it embarrassed her, things like that. And she claims that it never happened. She doesn't remember. Well, you were young, you don't remember, blah, blah, blah. But like Arctic said, if it was him. That's my opinion, just saying.
she shut down the website that defended her father and instead started to question his involvement. No longer advocating for her father's innocence, she instead turned her attention solely to finding Alissa no matter the cost. Her brothers also joined in, albeit to a lesser degree, the family finding itself divided and struggling to reconcile the fact that the same father they had loved so dearly was capable of such things, potentially even capable of making their sister disappear.
And with that being said, this is what I think happened. Okay, I think that Alissa was sick of this. Alissa was done with this, and Alissa said she was going to go to somebody with this and had proof of it. Okay, and he said, "No, you're not." And that's what I think happened to her. I truly do believe that in my soul that he got rid of her, and that's what my thoughts are on this. Just so everybody knows before we go any further, because of that reason, I think she was fed up. I mean, look what she had to go through, guys. This is insane. And that he just wasn't going to let go of it. And she said was done. And they contacted his sister in California. She had no clue about any of this, where he claimed to tell people that's where she was planning on going, this and that and everything else, that he talked to her and all that. Never happened. So I think he did something to her. And he got acquitted and is walking around free to this day, knowing what he did, in my opinion. So, yeah, just silence her, 100%. So that she couldn't, I think she had proof. And was going to roll on him and turn it in because she was just tired of it. And that's why I think he dealt with it.
With a history in policing and knowledge of the deserted areas around their house, the hours-long gap between Alissa being picked up and Sarah arriving at home began to appear a lot more sinister to her.
You got me in trouble, Dad.
How'd I do that?
Cause that freaking Mike, he looks and he goes, "That's illegal. He can't do that." I was like, "That's my dad." Still, there's signs posted all in the office. I was like my dad's gonna do anything. I was like, "It's my first job. My dad's video cameraing me." He's like, "So that's illegal. Tell him not to do that." I was like,
and that was her way of telling him she's uncomfortable with it without telling him she's uncomfortable with it. Because that kid's right. He was literally filming other kids in there that were working too. That's not legal. You can't just do that, okay? It's creepy as shit. So this, in my opinion, psychological side of it is her telling him, "Dad, this is not okay. You're making me uncomfortable. This is a problem. Please stop doing it." I think she was trying to find a way to talk to him without him coming back on her. And that's what I think that conversation was.
Which one's Mike? The one I was talking to?
no, the one, I don't know, the one that drives that nice Mustang. Let me drive.
Which one's Mike?
When Sarah searched the house, a map was discovered. Coordinates were written on it that pointed to an isolated area of the California desert. Despite submitting it to police, they never investigated, though bones were found in the area by a hiker. Reaching out to the coroner yielded no results. Nobody willing to confirm whether or not the bones were connected to her disappearance. Police also began to decrease their support despite numerous petitions encouraging them to investigate the case further. Sarah's appeals to use ground-penetrating technology at a shopping center her sister's body could be at was also denied. This pushed her to develop an online presence, using various social media platforms to raise awareness about her sister's disappearance. These have gradually gained traction, culminating in billboards and thousands upon thousands of signatures supporting her search. Sarah has appeared on various crime podcasts in a bid to encourage police to reinvestigate the case. She believes her father was involved in her sister's disappearance and hopes that if there is enough attention on the case, she may finally be able to find her sister. She offered to pay for an investigation of the area she believes Alissa may be to no avail. Some agencies still consider her a runaway, despite her behavior being so extremely out of character. Her rebellious behavior didn't include running away, especially without warning, and not even those closest to her were sent a message after she left. They believe foul play was involved as well. After hearing years of stories about what she endured, they wonder if this time she fought back. The story of her father taking her out to the desert is at the forefront of many minds. Maybe she fought back and he grew enraged, or she tried to escape to tell somebody. Or perhaps she tried to use the story to gain more freedom, and he knew that she couldn't continue to live with that knowledge. He knew she could destroy his life, and that was a loss of control he couldn't face. Maybe it was the loss of control. Or maybe it was the knowledge of her strong relationship with her boyfriend. Perhaps to make her realize she needed him, he dropped her off in the desert and left her behind. He placed a lot of value in control, and losing that control could easily have pushed him to take the situation to extremes. The paranoia he lived with may have caused him to act on impulse. But whatever the cause, he's the most likely suspect. Though Michael served time in custody for his plans to kill or otherwise injure the people of the Union, he's now a free man. This freedom comes despite a forensic psychologist saying he had a high likelihood of future violent crimes. Despite being required to undergo mental health treatments for paranoid personality disorder after his release, it brings little comfort to those that loved Alissa. Many remember Alissa as a normal teenager with a rebellious streak. Someone with no enemies who was just beginning her life. Despite skipping the occasional classes, she was a successful student with a steady relationship and a strong bond with her siblings. There's a hint of sadness, however, in the coverage of the case. Some wonder why friends and teachers never reported the graphic tales she told, left to wonder if perhaps she'd be here today if someone had spoken up. A family already grieving the loss of a mother was now left to grieve once more. Not only the loss of a sister, one who they didn't.
I think also too that the mother passing away could have been a trigger for this psycho to do the things he's doing as well. Not that it excuses it, just saying. I kind of have a feeling that could have been a trigger that triggered him into doing and being who he was, per se.
Even get to say goodbye to, but also the loss of a father and the absolute trust they had for him. In early interviews, Sarah said that unless there was evidence on the contrary, she would believe her sister was on a beach somewhere, sipping margaritas and enjoying a new life. As the years have worn on, that optimism has worn away. But Sarah still hopes that one day she can find her sister no matter what. With the case now being submitted to the prosecutor's office in the hopes of charging Michael Turney at long last, perhaps Alissa will finally be able to come home and have her story told. After all this time, he may be held accountable for the disgusting behavior that haunted her. Though an investigation will take time, there are now appeals for leads or tips from anybody who may know something. With such strong support from around the world, there's hope that Sarah will be reunited with her sister once more.
Okay, so there's that there. One moment here. Now I'm going to let you guys hear this. This piece of, hold on. Piece of doo-doo. Hopefully it allows for it.
Background in law enforcement.
Yes, I do.
You know that oftentimes the first person they look as suspect might be family members.
They always look at the family member first. That's just standard 101 investigations.
So why take it as such an insult?
I didn't take it as an insult. I took it as fighting with someone for 6 or 7 years to get them to do what I wanted them to do.
But Mr. Turney, by refusing to answer their questions, as a former law enforcement
I
person
didn't
yourself,
refuse to answer their questions.
don't
That's
you see
the-
how that would raise eyebrows?
No, because that's a lie. I didn't refuse to answer questions. They were calling me every day, asking me questions every single day. Every
But
day.
they wanted to sit down with you.
And they would have gotten that. All I had to do was set the time and the place, and it would have certainly occurred.
Well, let's clear some of the things that they're saying about you.
No, that's fine.
At the beginning, the detectives were very focused on Heimer. They thought maybe he had done it. But as they began to interview her
Oh,
friends, some disturbing things start to surface.
Oh,
And they say that among them was the feeling that you were obsessed with her. You've heard this before.
it's on the affidavit, yes.
That you were very controlling
Yes.
and very strict, that you had her sign contracts, you followed her around, you interviewed parents of any new friends of hers. Do you feel that went far beyond what a normal parent would do?
Oh, it depends on who you talk to. If it would avoid anything happening to my daughter, yes. I don't think it was far beyond. At the time, I look back at it because she ran away as a result of that. Yeah, of course I feel bad about it.
Other people said you were demeaning to Alissa, that you made her feel stupid.
That's an absolute lie. I wouldn't allow that with Alissa because I want Alissa to have good self-esteem of herself.
But her friends said that you were demeaning to her. You called her stupid. In a phone call that has surfaced since then, you called Alissa a bitch.
Really? See, I'm not aware of that.
It's on a recording.
Well, then fine. Let's bring all the recordings out. I got no problem with that.
Did you call her that?
Did I call Alissa a bitch? I don't remember. I very well could have one time when I was mad at her. Who knows?
That's demeaning.
I guess it is.
So what were you planning to do?
Just bring attention to Alissa.
How are you going to do this?
Take a shotgun and blow my head off. That's what I tried to do in '94.
And what about the firecrackers and the bombs and the explosives?
What bombs? You mean a few little flash things that would make some noise, just to make noise? You can't kill anybody with a pipe bomb unless you stick it down their throat.
Police say you were going to bomb the local union hall.
Sure, they did that because they don't understand that you can't take that building down with a bomb. You can't burn it down. It's an
You weren't going to
inflammable
do that.
building. What?
You weren't going to do that?
Not in the least bit. Why? I'm going to murder a bunch of innocent people? That sounds insane.
Mr. Turney, you say the government's out to get you, the union's out to get you, the Phoenix Police Department's out to get you. It sounds like you think the world is out to get you, and it sounds a little delusional.
Well, that's what they investigated. I just went and talked to the government's forensic psychologist. She said I had a paranoid personality, but she didn't say delusional.
Do you think you have a paranoid personality?
You ever wore a badge and a gun?
No.
You ever been in the military?
No.
Guarantee you'll have a paranoid personality after that for the rest of your life. That just comes with it, the experience.
Tell me why we should believe you.
Hi, Walt Harris. I said that I did it once already. You might not have heard me.
Why you should believe me? Let's see. I don't know, probably because the fact that sometimes when people tell things that seem to be so irrational, sometimes they are true.
You're not capable of killing your stepdaughter.
I didn't kill my stepdaughter. I'm not capable of killing my stepdaughter.
That's why I think he had the ability to do it too, because it wasn't even his biological child. So there is that too. 1 second here. And this is the other one I want. Pieces of this. That he was arrested. Okay, he was charged, arrested, and then acquitted, which disgusts me to no end because I know this that he did this. I have a strong feeling. And there's certain statements he makes in this interview that really, really pissed me off and threw me completely sideways. And again, just reassures me that this guy did this. I would love to talk to her sister. I really would, because she's been really, really deep into this and very, very, very good at keeping this going. Okay.
Talk about your first night of being out, your first day. You said it's kind of surreal for you. It's kind of hard to believe.
It's dreamlike. It's not real. It doesn't feel like it's real. You keep thinking you're going to wake up and right back in the dungeon that you came from. I'm having a difficult time with it. I'm also exhausted.
It seems like Sarah's testimony especially kind of impacted you. What would your message be to her if she watches this?
I love you. I'll never stop loving you, no matter what you do. And you need to understand, okay, I did everything possible to save your mother.
And there was another side to that too. I had questions after seeing all this stuff that I saw about this, about the mother and how he treated her too before she passed away. That was something that started to bother me after the fact too, because a person like this, the type of a monster that I'm going to call him, you don't center it on just one person. You treat people this way in general, in my opinion. So
Even fought to her life insurance to get it early so we could move to Canada or France or fly her there to see if they could save her. And she died. There was nothing more I could do. And with Alissa, because she said and made it very clean that I took those two away from her. Maybe I was too strict on her, too hard. She didn't run away from anybody other than me, in spite of what that note says. I'm the parent. I'm the only one that can be blamed for that.
The detectives that testified didn't shy away from saying that Phoenix police, they could have done more. Do you think if they would have done more, the case would look very different right now?
Yes, it would have been much different if they would have just listened to me in my initial report to them that she was endangered, an endangered runaway, as I convinced the National Center for Missing Exploited Children, which they put on their flyers, endangered runaway, if they would have listened to me. And again, I hounded them. I mean, they were mad at me all the time because I would question them. I would constantly call them, never left them alone, forced them to accept her dental records. They lost the first copy. I had to go get another one. Forced them to put her DNA and dental records in NCIC. And that was 2005. 4 years it took me to get them to do that. You know, writing letters to the chief of police, complaining, threatening them. I want to sue you if you don't do this because I know you're doing it wrong. And whether it's because you don't give a damn or because you declared me a vigilante years ago, it doesn't matter to me. You know, you need to do your job, and they didn't.
In the trial, when the news came that you were acquitted, we kind of saw your face. You looked surprised. Was that how you felt?
Oh, that's putting it lightly. It was unbelievable. But it was the law, and that's because of the lawyers. Jamie, Olivia, and another one named Ashley Oda that was involved in it, and Emily. these people went beyond what most people would have done. They're just so great at people that they'll be in my heart for the rest of my life, because they brought out the facts, brought out the law, and the judge was right on the money. And that's the argument that Olivia gave. She was just, I sit and listen to it, and I know what she was doing, and I understood it. But when he came back with his decision, which is the right decision, I thought for sure I was going to fall down. I couldn't believe it.
You walked out yesterday and you said, I'll never stop looking for Alissa.
And I won't.
What do you have plans now to keep that search going?
Well, as a parent, I don't know where in the hell to look. But as a ex-police officer, and knowing that Arizona is the corridor for human trafficking, and that's a fact, not my opinion. And I believe that I need to see if I can't get hopefully enough money to see if I can get some private people who's willing to go and follow that path out of the country, and with some kind of hope and a prayer that somewhere they'll find Alissa, or find out where she went or what happened to her.
So you still have hope that you'll get answers?
I'm sorry?
You still have hope that you'll get answers?
Get answers?
Yeah.
I'll never stop doing that. I don't think any parent would. You can't. You love somebody, you just can't turn off the valve. I'm never going to stop loving Alissa or Sarah or all of my children. It just can't be done, not by me anyway. And finding out that Alissa was okay and finally got the baby she always wanted, it's all I really want.
Oh, stop, you piece of shit. You have no real tears. You have no real emotion here. And you haven't even been out there trying to find Alissa. So you need to... sorry.
Obsessive person. I don't like to quit. I don't believe in defeat. And there's got to be an answer. If nothing else, Wake Up America, we have a serious problem in Arizona and America with human trafficking. And that's just my guess. I don't know where Alissa's at. I have no idea.
Had you not been acquitted?
There's no reason to apologize. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Absolute. This is a joke to me. There's more. There's some other things you'll see. And in fact, I think he shows his true side here shortly.
Were you and your legal team preparing you to take the stand? Is that something that was part of your plan?
To be honest with you, I kept telling them I'm not going to appeal it. Again, I'm 75 years old. How I survived 2 bouts of COVID-19, malnutrition, sleep deprivation in that jail, and that's an atrocity in itself. I'm surprised. And I think by reading what they said, we want to punish Mr. Turney before he dies of old age or disease. And they're going to slam a 72-year-old man into a jail during COVID-19 panic. I mean, that tells the whole story of what their attitude was. And no evidence to prove it.
What would your message be to the Phoenix Police Department today?
Oh, about half of you guys ought to quit. You got a bad attitude. Police officers do not lie, especially on affidavits and the grand juries. You do not do that because you are a police officer. You took a pledge to the United States Constitution to uphold all laws, that you were there to protect and preserve. Get off of this wagon of the rogue, hostile brutality that you've been known for years and years and years. And just because you were exposed for Miranda, it doesn't mean you have the right to continue being that way. And stop teaching the younger officers, this is how we do it. We turn a family. We destroy the family. We don't care whether we get guilty or not. We just, we're going to get the information we think we need. That's not the way investigations work. You follow the facts and the evidence. You don't create it. And that's what they did. How they handle that, we'll see. That needs to be changed. I mean, we the people are the greatest people on the planet, including Arizona, and we deserve better.
You've mentioned that police have lied, Sarah has lied. Can you talk about some of the lies that you have seen in your case?
Oh, I guess the key ones would be the affidavit for the search warrant. They lied about a second car. They knew better than that. They continuously lied about why Alissa didn't take her $1,860 out. And that's like a misrepresentation. When they knew for a fact that that was a joint account and she couldn't take the money out without parental permission. And I had to show ID, and that was shown by Jamie excellently. What I didn't fully understand was she was cashing her checks and I guess apparently saving her money. Then of course they lied about the IP. They went around and told everybody, do you think Alyssa's got ADD? I mean, how do they know what Alissa does? We didn't make that public because Alissa, I didn't want to embarrass her. I wanted her to think, you're just like everybody else. School work's a little tough on you. We'll work through that. I won't let the...
It's sick how he's downplaying everything he did. He didn't want to embarrass her by talking about her having an IEP, but he'll sit in the parking lot and film her while she's working and humiliate her that way. You're full of shit, bro.
State flunk you. They're not going to kick you out. You know, you're going to get your diploma. You're not going to take the Ames test. So, I mean, you know, that's basically, does that cover your question?
Yeah, no, it does. There are going to be people that watch this that have lived here in Phoenix and have watched this case play out. You mentioned your daughter, Sarah. There are going to be people that watch this and think that you are guilty. What would you say to that?
You're wrong. I'm not guilty. Okay, that's just not me. All right, and I don't know what to say to people. People make up their minds, and people are the way they are because that's the way they want to be. If they want to believe what I categorize it, you have the fortress of the truth and the minion of the lie. If you want to go with the lie, then I have an obligation to expose how much the Phoenix PD officers, Anderson, Summershoot, lied and misrepresented the facts to turn my family against me. That's just the text of it. And you need to really evaluate the facts. You guys are trying to bring it out that these people over here have. Go read the facts in your mind. But try and convince them to change their mind, that's not my job.
Some of your kids testified to different things that you had said over time. Can you remind us of the facts of what happened May 17th, 2001 from your perspective?
What happened?
Yeah.
Routine day, the last day of school, Sarah had her world, what do they call it? Water world. Okay, Alissa, of course, was only going to have a half day, and she had asked me to pick her up early to avoid her boyfriend she was going to break up with. And took them both to school because after the guy tried to break in a house, I put up the cameras and all this stuff, started recording this stuff. And so every time I could, I took.
You guys love how he had to throw that piece of information in there. She was going to break up with her boyfriend. There's no way to clarify that because she can't answer that question. This is something he's shoving down her throat, probably forcing her to try to do. And maybe that's the problem. She was refusing to do that. And he wouldn't put up with it, in my opinion.
Okay, Alissa, of course, was only going to have a half day, and she had asked me to pick her up early to avoid her boyfriend she was going to break up with. And took them both to school because after the guy tried to break in a house, I put up the cameras and all this stuff, started recording this stuff. And so every time I could, I took them to school and picked them up. Same with Alyssa's job because I was worried about them. That's why I gave Alissa a cell phone. And then we came back, we went to lunch. The conversation started out pretty good, I thought. We were talking to beautician school. Basically, her breakup with John, she wanted me to give back the necklace, and I told her, no, you're gonna give it back to him, and I'll be there with you. So, and then we started getting a discussion about the party she wanted to go to. Just basically the rules that she needed to comply with, whether or not she's gonna go spend the summer with her aunt, Lynette. And, you know, just little details, of course, pressuring her to get her driver's license.
And Lynette had no idea of that, had never had a conversation with either of them about that. That's a blatant lie.
I want to do it. And then it turned into an argument about the party. And it's a hard day for me because somewhere I messed up. And then especially the last moment to see your child angry at you and stomping off. I mean,
And that was the last time you were up early from school, and then that was the last time you saw her.
Yes, I called her about 10 minutes after I left to apologize and tell her we're going to go to the graduation of a family friend. Because she was on total restriction. She was giving out phone numbers to people she just met in the drive-thru. And that was very dangerous. So I grounded her.
You mentioned your surveillance system that you had set up. It had been brought up in court that you had told police you didn't have the tapes from that day. Do you wish you kept them?
You bet. Are you serious? It would make this a whole lot easier. Although I think the Phoenix PD would have still continued because they had an obsession with it. But it was an old system, 8-hour-old tapes, hard to find, expensive. Hitting the every time I wanted to, especially at night, I'd have to hit the recorder to go. When it ran out, it stopped. Same way with the phone. Early in the morning, I hadn't reset it. My errors on the part, but I'm not perfect, that's for sure.
When you look back at all of this, is there anything that you would do differently?
Somehow not running off my daughter, Alissa. Making her go with me instead of leaving her there when we go pick up Sarah. That's probably it. Maybe I was too hard on her.
What are your plans? What are your plans now? Have you held on to that all these years?
I hadn't turned on the recorder. My phone system had a recorder, but it had to be manually start the recording. When the tape ran out, it shut off. So each time I had to either put a new cassette in or
that's
turn it
convenient
over and reuse it again, and then I had to push the button. The system was on the phone, and it automatically would actuate the recorder. So there was a switch that set between that and that. So whenever the phone was picked up, the recorder would start. But if the tape ran out, it didn't record it.
Has the memory of that phone call, have you held on to that?
I'll never forget it.
Can you describe to us again what she said?
Real short call. Alissa, she was obviously upset, but she sounded like she was talking away from the receiver at times. That was the only thing that seemed so odd to me. But she was saying the same things. She was tired of my rules. Her language wasn't the greatest. And I guess it was basically it. It was so short that I wish it would have lasted longer.
That's one of the most convenient forms of bullshit that I've heard throughout this whole thing. That she called and said she was running away. She was tired of his damn rules, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But conveniently, everything else was recorded except that call. You're full of shit, Mike. Sorry, but you're completely full of shit and everybody knows it. That's all there is to it.
There was a theory at one point that your son testified about that 2 electrical workers might have killed Alissa.
I'm sorry, what?
There was a theory that your son testified at one point that 2 electrical workers might have killed Alissa. Can you talk about
bullshit.
how that theory came?
No, I'd rather not, because that's something it's another story of how I wanted to keep
another lie
to keep looking for my daughter.
Is there anything that you want people to know as they watch that?
And from my understanding, that group that he tried to accuse this on, in turn tried to threaten to file a lawsuit against him for that story. Therefore, that's why he doesn't talk about it anymore. That's my understanding. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but that's how I understood that.
That you think maybe no one's asked you before?
The human or the family unit is sacred. It needs to remain that way. This is what the country is founded on. And if a tragedy should fall you, There's nothing wrong with citing your constitutional rights when the police become abusive or intrusive. And you need to keep pushing them because, like they said, they get calls all the time. It doesn't mean anything to them, but they don't know your circumstances. And most of the time, they're not going to ask you about it. So you have to force it on them. And I don't think that's unique to the Phoenix PD because they get so many of them. They say, oh, you know, they'll be back in an hour. They'll be back in 2 days or whatever it is. But that's not the way you're feeling as a parent. You don't have your baby in your sight and you're worried. So the issue of it is that if the tragedy falls upon you, push it. Does that make sense?
Yep. One other question that someone asked you yesterday, and then we'll be done. I'll let you go with your son. Someone asked you, and you wanted to have your attorneys there. Do you know where Alissa went, and did you have any involvement in her disappearance? What would you say?
Absolutely no involvement or disappearance other than her running away from me. No, I didn't do any harm to Alissa. And what was the other part of it?
That's pretty much it. Do you think you know where she went?
I have no idea. I won't bring up the Ouija board thing again. I have really no idea. All I fear is that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And as a parent, I go from the worst to hope that maybe somewhere she's alive with the baby she always wanted since Sarah was born.
Have you battled guilt at all throughout these years? Has that been hard for you?
As a parent, the what if, could have, should have always will be there. And I'm one of those kind of that don't like to pass the buck. You know, I was a single parent. There's no one else to look around and point a finger at. Anything that occurred in my family because I missed it or something is my fault. I should have thought better. I should have worked harder. I should have done something to prevent it or to. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's it. So we're done. Thank you.
That was the biggest bowl of BS I've heard yet, truly. And that was after he was acquitted for this and got out.
And it's funny that they're talking about his son saying that someone else may have been responsible, because if you look at that article that I sent you in the back chat, his son now is saying without a doubt his dad's responsible for what happened to Alissa.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to actually pull that up next. They all are on board with Sarah now and supporting her because it's been made evident, guys. I mean, you can just look at the facts in this and see what it is. And the way his actions alone put him in that spotlight. Okay. Nothing he has done since then has taken him out of the spotlight, in my opinion. So it says here, Arizona man cleared in his stepdaughter's disappearance. His son is convinced now that he's guilty, and that's fact. Okay. He said that the prosecutors failed to address years of a textbook pattern of abuse. Mike Turney has denied the allegations and said he didn't kill the teen. I don't believe anything this guy is just as bad as anybody we've seen in these situations, if not worse. In July, Mike Turney was cleared after being charged with the murder of his stepdaughter, Alissa, 22 years after the high school junior vanished. But his son said his son has no doubt the teen, whose body has never been found, was his father's victim. The man worked in law enforcement, folks. Remember that. He knows how to do certain things and what to do to make things happen. Remember that, too. So as far as killing somebody and then hiding the body to the point where they can't find it, he knows what to do.
Well, especially when tips are coming in as to where the body may be, and law enforcement won't even go out and fucking look.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's another problem, too. Law enforcement, listen, everybody except for Sarah and now her brothers failed this girl. Everybody. Okay? Every single person in this girl's life failed her. And it's really disgusting to me. It's really sad. There's no justice in the system for her. James Turney, 49, told NBC News it failed her 100%. There you go. Now, James is speaking out about the often misunderstood type of abuse known as coercive control that he said Alissa suffered for years. Allegations that include intimidation, surveillance, and psychological abuse. And he's calling out Arizona prosecutors for downplaying what one expert called a textbook example of coercive control. every bit of it. This girl was petrified to do the wrong thing because of what this man was going to do to her.
And let's just pause for a second, because I know that we said that you need to keep an eye on what your kids are doing and you need to go through their phones and stuff like that. But there is a huge difference in what this guy was doing and that and what a parent should do. You should not put cameras up in your kid's room or hidden in air conditioners. You shouldn't tap the phone lines to listen in on your kids' conversations and shit like that. I
Nope.
mean, there comes a point where it is abuse.
You
Period.
draw a line. Yeah, there's a constructive way to do those things for the safety of your child. When they become a certain age, they do deserve a specific form of their own privacy to an extent. Okay, there's a way to do it without doing what he did. This man followed this girl, as you saw, to her job and filmed her and stayed there while she's working the whole time. Everywhere she would go, he would show up and he would film her. That's disgusting, folks. That's weird. And there is statements made that he picked her up one time and drove her out somewhere, and he inappropriately assaulted her, per se, or tried to, and she fought back against it. And I have to wonder if it happened again. And she was just done. And she tried to fight back, and he ended that because he wasn't going to have it, because she can turn him in and end his life in that sense. Okay? This is what I think happened.
I wonder if his connection to law enforcement is part of the reason why he's kind of gotten by with this for as long as he has, and why they don't go investigate these tips when they come in.
Well, I thought about that, but it also looked to me that he has a big hatred towards law enforcement, and how he claims they turned his family against him. He did that himself, but so I don't see them like supporting him in this, but still, he may have certain information that he can use to get him through certain things because of his law enforcement connections. Maybe, these are just thoughts. Although he has no expectation of justice for Alissa, James said that he hopes she serves as a grim, instructive reminder to others facing what Evan Stark, the social worker who first defined coercive control, has described as hostage situation aimed at erasing a person's liberty and predictor of fatal violence, which is what this man did. I mean, it's insane. James pointed to countries like Scotland, where coercive control has been codified in criminal law, and the country has provided judicial training and support for victims as a model of reform for the United States. Lawmakers in a handful of states, including California and Connecticut, have enacted laws in recent years allowing victims to cite the abuse in civil matters, including petitions for protection orders in Hawaii. The abuse is a misdemeanor. Though Mike, 75, was charged with second-degree murder after Alissa's disappearance, he was acquitted during a 60-day trial in the Phoenix courtroom before the case went to the jury. Mike's defense attorneys argued there wasn't substantial evidence to support the charge, a claim the judge agreed with.
Okay, how does that happen? How do you get acquitted before it even goes to the jury?
I've never heard of that before. I was going to ask that question my damn self. It makes no sense. It almost sounds like he did something here to help to make that happen. Maybe. I don't know. I know
that it can go to a grand jury and they can choose whether to indict or not, but I've never heard of someone getting off before it even gets to the jury like that when it actually goes to trial. That's insane.
Neither have I. Mike has not been charged with any crimes in connection to the abuse and coercive control allegations. In an interview with NBC's Dateline, the former Maricopa County Sheriff's deputy denied abusing his stepdaughter, whom he adopted shortly after he and his wife got together in '86. Although he acknowledged being a controlling parent, saying it was necessary because Alissa needed constant supervision, Mike told Dateline he was trying to protect a teenager who he said was very naive and easily influenced. So are most kids. That doesn't mean you have to do what you did. Mike's wife, Alissa's mother, died when she was in second grade. But to James, the second oldest in the blended family of 6 children, his father is a master manipulator who routinely called Alissa stupid and not that intelligent. And we heard that on video. You heard him say it, Alissa, the stupid moron. Dumb moron, I'm sorry. He had no respect for her. That was fact. And when you do that, that's what these abusers do, is they abuse these people due to the fact that they need to demean you, okay, regularly. Mike also said that things that seemed far more cruel, he had recording systems inside his suburban Phoenix home that captured phone calls as well as video. A camera was tucked inside an air conditioning vent in the living room. The audio tapes recovered by authorities captured him making disparaging comments about Alissa and using expletives to describe her. From the camera inside the vent, Mike saw Alissa kissing someone who wasn't her boyfriend, then revealed to the boyfriend that his stepdaughter was cheating on him. William Anderson, the Phoenix police detective who led the investigation into Alyssa's disappearance, told Dateline. Again, who does that? What parent gets involved in that way? They don't. They don't. He was trying to make her miserable. Mike also regularly appeared at Alyssa's job she worked at, Jack in the Box, and filmed her from his car, Anderson said. Mr. Turney has stated that he would routinely show up an hour or two early to ensure that she did not leave the premises with anybody else, Anderson said. It's very much over the top. Mike said it was a lie that he disclosed his stepdaughter's cheating. He said he initially filmed Alissa at her job because she asked him to. Bullshit. He said, because when we saw that interaction with those two, she came out and said, "You got me in trouble." If she wanted him to do that, she wouldn't have said that to him.
Exactly.
That was bullshit.
And I don't buy that he didn't tell the boyfriend that she was cheating on him, and she probably wasn't actually even doing it.
Agreed. And that's why I think and he stressed that multiple times. He had to talk about it. She was going to break up with her boyfriend that day. This was something I believe he was trying to force her to do. Okay. Truly, in my opinion. This, I think, is bullshit too. He placed the camera inside their air conditioning vent because someone had tried to break in. I don't think that ever happened. I think that was an excuse he used to cover that, truly. I don't think anybody ever tried to break into that house. I think that was just his way. Again, having law enforcement experience, came up with ideas to make things look good. When his children were home alone, he made the disparaging comments. He added because he discovered Alissa was doing drugs. I don't believe that. And even if she was, what kid doesn't in some senses? Was having sex. Again, teenage girl, teenage boys. This is what they do. These, in some senses, are normal things for kids, okay? And then this other thing here that where she was giving her phone number to men at the drive-thru. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that, okay? That doesn't make...
I'll tell you this. If she was doing drugs, having sex, lying to him, that's one thing, fine. But you don't sit there and say the types of things that he said to his daughter and expect that that's going to magically make her stop doing those things, because that's going to make me go out and do even more.
Agreed. And even if she was doing those things too, not to mention, it could have been in a rebellious persona to get back at him because of the things he was doing to her. You're not being a good parent. You're making an enemy. You're not supporting her. You're hurting her, okay? And all the things he said about, I don't even believe a quarter of them at all. Who the hell works at drive-thrus and hands your phone number out to men at the drive-thru on a regular basis? Come on. He's trying to make her look bad to make this all go along with his narrative, in my opinion. I'm sorry. A co-worker of Alyssa's, Chris Ridnour, painted a different picture of his friend. He said it was possible Alissa was giving out her number to random guys, although he never saw it, nor did he know her to sleep around or do drugs. Thank you. She seemed bothered by her home life, he told Dateline, but when she was at work, it looked like she was happier, like she was away from whatever it was, and that was my next comment too. Other allegations of abuse came from several people who knew Alissa. 3 different sources, including Alyssa's then boyfriend, told investigators that she described Mike driving her to the desert and touching her inappropriately, Anderson said. In an interview with police, another friend said that Alissa described waking up to her father gagging her with a sock and telling her to remain quiet about the event because no one would believe her, according to a recording of the interview obtained by Dateline. I believe that. Mike had previously denied that allegation, of course. Alyssa's 3rd grade teacher told authorities that the teen once confided in her that she was having sex with her father. Okay. The teacher,
and this is where the failure happens, because the teacher didn't report that to the authorities.
Mm-hmm. Now you tell me why that's a normal conversation to have with a teacher, a 3rd grader, 9-year-old kid. is not going to come out of nowhere and say that. They're just not. Okay. CZ, you're a teacher. Jody, Tandy, you're all teachers. That's not something a third grade child's going to walk up to a teacher and say out of nowhere. They're not going to make that up. Okay. Come on. The teacher did not report the allegation to authorities because she said that Alissa immediately denied it because she got scared and out of fear of Mike, I'm sure. I don't care. I don't care if she did that or not. It was your job to go to somebody and say something. That teacher right there could have prevented all of this, in my opinion. I'm sorry. But the teacher confronted Mike, Anderson said, and he denied it. Of course he did. Saying Alissa believes sex is when people kiss each other goodnight. Come on now. A year before Alissa disappeared, Mike called child. And this other thing right here, right now tells me that this guy knew that something was coming and he was trying to cover his ass, okay? A year before she disappeared, Mike called Child Protective Services with the warning. His stepdaughter might falsely claim that he was molesting her. Now, I don't know how these people are trained, but anybody that were to receive a call like that to CSB or CPS or whatever should have immediately investigated that. Not on his side of things either, okay? Because that's not a normal thing for people to do. It's just not. Anderson said that he also made her sign a notar. Now, this is another crazy ass. This is insane. He made her sign a notarized contract. My statement about things in my life at home, saying that he hadn't abused her, Anderson said. He made her sign other contracts that focused on drug use and behavioral issues, the detective said.
Now, see, the whole thing about her having to sign a contract notarized saying that he hadn't abused her is fucking bullshit. Now, I can get the whole drug thing because that was a thing back even when I was a kid. You'd have contracts between parents and kids saying that they wouldn't do drugs. I get that, but it wasn't ever notarized and legal like that. I mean,
nope, not at all. It didn't need to be because of our minds. You know what I mean? This dude took all this shit seriously and was insane. It is insane, in my opinion. It's a form of humiliation, Anderson said, of the notarized document. There you go. It's a form of humiliation. The man had held no bones and had no problem humiliating this child just to get his way. That tells me he had not one care for her. She's his stepdaughter. So there's no, biological bond there, first. Secondly, I have a feeling that there's a possibility he could have blamed this little girl possibly for the death of her mother or took the frustrations out on this little girl for the death of her mother. There's other little angles with this too that have me thinking about. But yeah, he purposely humiliated her, thinking that's going to make her act differently or do his biddings, go his direction. No, that's not what you do. Sorry. It's intimidation with this document. Mike can turn around and say, you can never accuse me of any of the things that because you signed your life away. Bullshit. A signature isn't the truth, okay? Mike described the contracts as a way to give Alissa structure. If you told Alissa something within an hour or so, she didn't remember it, he said. And then she needed to be treated for ADHD, possibly. That was never done. Never looked at. And the notarized document as a means of protecting himself from what he described as Alissa's false allegations. He said Alissa had been threatening him with Child Protective Services as part of an effort to emancipate herself from home. And by all means, she should have been threatening him with that, which is, again, what
man did that. I mean,
yeah.
Look, and here's the other thing, too. This is a man who's now on Dateline or whatever it was we were watching earlier, sitting there trying to imitate boo-hooing over his daughter. And this is how he's talking about her after she's gone missing.
Yeah.
So if I had a child that was missing, regardless of what problems I may or may not have had with them, I certainly wouldn't be putting all this out on the public for them to read and talk about my daughter like she's some problem child. I mean, it pisses me off.
Oh, I do agree, sir. The man has never showed any real emotion. There was no tears, no nothing about anything other than stuff about himself, not about this child whatsoever. Where to go? Yeah, asked if he sexually abused Alissa. Mike said, I never did. I never would do anything like that. It took years for prosecutors to file charges in Alyssa's disappearance, a result of authorities initially believing she was a runaway. And the volume, and there's that word again.
Oh my! Dato, it's too soon for me to break this new phone.
I get it, guys. But we see this word all the time. They're a runaway, therefore they're not important. Don't forget it, guys, because that's how a lot of these agencies look at this, and I'm so sick of seeing it. The voluminous audio and video evidence investigators had to sift through. But after Mike was indicted for a second-degree murder in 2020, the sex abuse claims were at the heart of the prosecutor's theory of the case. Mike believed that she would reveal the abuse. Prosecutors, that's what I just said. Prosecutors at the Maricopa County Attorney's Office alleged. But the motive was fabricated and based on lies told by people that say that Alissa said this. His lawyers dismissed the case on thin on real evidence. For me, it was immediately, wow, there's very little physical evidence. Obviously, in this case, or none. One of the lawyers, Jamie Jackson, told Dateline, and it seems that this all became kind of a character assassination.
Well, here's the deal for me. Even if the evidence was circumstantial, you have these witnesses that are willing to come forward and testify about how he was talking about his daughter, about the sexual abuse. There were several people who had been told about this. And so regardless of, and for this judge to roll all that hearsay, I don't get it. I mean, you know, people have been convicted on far less circumstantial evidence before.
Exactly.
This is kind of like the damn, I mean, this is like Casey Anthony. There was so much evidence there, and then she just walks free.
Right. And throughout all the interviews that I looked at with this idiot in them, he never says anything negative about Alissa, but never says anything positive about her either. That was a big red flag to me, okay? He knows not to say anything negative, but he should be, if he was doing this right, saying, or if he was real about it, saying some positive things about her, and he never does. He can't, because he truly has either hate for her or a very high dislike towards this girl, and that's why he can't do it, in my opinion. Yes, Matahari, it is. So where was that at? Some kind of character assassination. To Stark, who authored the 2000 book Coercive Control: How Men Entrap Women in Personal Life, Alyssa's case appeared to be an open and shut example of abuse. Stark, who wasn't familiar with the case but reviewed the allegations for NBC News, pointed to the surveillance, the contracts, and other aspects of Mike's behavior and said, once you put all these elements together, even if you don't have physical violence, you have the elements of a coercive control crime because you've taken away somebody's liberty and their freedom. Yes. No problem, Matahari. Coercive control that ends with a homicide, Stark added, means the pattern of abuse failed. And in my opinion, again, the man pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and took away all of her civil liberties, all her freedoms, all the things a teenage girl should probably have in her life. He took every one of them away. You're going to have to expect pushback at some point. He didn't like that. Okay. And I truly think she was coming forward with something and he shut it down. That's the only way he could do it. And he got rid of her. And I don't think they'll ever find her. I hate to say that, but I don't, unless he comes forward himself and just decides here's the answer to it. Because again, he's got a background as a deputy sheriff. He knows how to clean something like this up, where to put her, how to do it, and when to do it, so nobody will ever find her. That's why I don't think we'll ever see her again, sadly. I hope that that's not true, but I have a bad feeling about it. During the trial, the Maricopa County prosecutor who delivered the opening statement, Vince Inbordino, said that Mike attempted to basically control every part of Alyssa's life. It wasn't basic. It was actual. He actually did that. But to James, who attended the proceedings, prosecutors did little to link his father's allegedly abusive behaviors. They didn't present the surveillance as part of a pattern, for instance, but as a strange habit, he said. He said he begged prosecutors to call expert witnesses who could help the jury make sense of the alleged abuse and explain the corrosive dynamics of coercive control. Sorry, guys. Why is no one putting this all together? He recalled telling prosecutors at the time, Why are we not showing that this is a pattern of events? Stop saying individual isolated things. You need to connect them. You need to show that this was going on throughout her life, James added. This wasn't a one-time bad parenting decision, and that's absolute. With the help of forensic psychologist relative, James even lined up possible experts and emailed prosecutors potential lines of questioning that they could pursue. But the prosecutors declined, James recalled. He said it wasn't necessary and it wouldn't be effective. They didn't want anything from him because they didn't need it. In an interview, Imbordino said that he believed James wanted testimony related to coercive control to help establish a motive. I agree with that. That way, if the jury believes in what they're being told, they're going to look at him and go, oh, that's what he was doing. No. That's more manipulation right there, folks. The man attempted to and or did manipulate the jury in that way. It's unclear what role expert testimony would have played in the case after prosecutors rested and before either side presented their closing arguments. Mike's lawyers argued that there was a lack of physical evidence and asked the judge to throw out the charge. The judge agreed prosecutors hadn't put forward substantial evidence to warrant a conviction. The judge ruled Mike Turney was acquitted of second-degree murder. That's how that all went down then. Prosecutors disagreed with the decision, but accepted it. Imbordino said the statute of limitations on other potential charges, such as stalking and entrapment, have expired, he added. To start, the prosecution's decision not to take up James' request was a mistake. One that could not have only raised awareness, but potentially shifted the case's outcome. And an expert, Stark said, that could have reframed what seemed like relatively trivial behaviors, such as the surveillance, as contributing elements to a homicide. Those elements could have been presented as part of an ongoing course of malevolent conduct designed to dominate malevolent. Sorry about that. Malevolent. There we go. Conduct designed to dominate and deprive that girl of her liberties and her dignity, and ultimately culminating in her death, he said. So tired of it. Though Mike was acquitted, James still believes that his father killed his stepsister, though he's unsure what would have prompted him to do so, but a request she made in the weeks before her disappearance continues to linger. She wanted to leave her father's home. James recalled her saying and move in with him. She couldn't take living with him anymore, he said. She was afraid of him, as she should have been, I'm sure. Mike told Dateline that he did not believe Alissa feared him, and he said it's unsure what happened to her. It's not unsure for me. I know exactly, I think, what happened to her. And shame on
me too. Me too.
It's disgusting, you guys. So, yeah, down the road, I would love to hook up with Sarah and have her join us for a conversation because she's really done a whole lot with this case. Still no answers, and she pushes hard every day with this, guys. She really does.
Yep, and she's another example of a family member that turns out to be a great advocate for victims because she's not only advocating for Alissa now, she's advocating for other families too. If you're not following her on Twitter, you need to go over there and follow her.
Hang on, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So there's that. Does anybody have any questions about these cases? Are you still here, Mama Bear?
I am.
Good. Yeah, there's the link. I was going to do that to you, Arctic, to Sarah's Twitter. If you guys want to check it out, please do, if you will, and show support in that aspect. Like I said, I'd love to have a conversation with her about this and definitely get some more info out there if we can. I see you, Mom. So share this one out too, guys, if you can. Both of these cases today are really they definitely need to get some awareness brought to them in a big way, because I truly believe that Michael Turney needs to go back to prison in a bad way. I really do, because I have a gut feeling on this one that this man is fully responsible for what happened to this little girl, and it really makes me sick to my stomach thinking about it, truly, because he knows. That's the problem. He absolutely knows. And for him to pass away knowing what he did is unfair to me. That's not justice for Alissa, in my opinion. So
Yeah, Cap, we looked at that last week.
yeah, we covered that last week, buddy. Unfortunately you weren't here, but we missed someone. Did we lose someone from our? We did, Jody. I don't know if you remember Golf Inspector General. She joined us in here a lot back when the Idaho case was pretty heavy. She passed away a couple of days ago, sadly and unfortunately. So yes, we definitely she'll be definitely sadly missed. I haven't in a while, Josie, but it's something that we probably should be doing soon for some decompression stuff. So thanks for the reminder. Do you have any comments or questions, Mama Bear, about this one?
Well, and that's the thing, is he can't be brought to justice at this point because in America there's double jeopardy, and so
Yeah, double jeopardy. He's already been tried, convicted, and acquitted. So I don't know if there's any way to convict him on that at all.
The only thing they can get him on at this point, if the statute of limitations hasn't run out, is if they can prove that she had been sexually abused, then they could get him possibly on that. But
different charges, right? That's the only thing I can think of too. Guys, give me a quick second. I gotta grab something. I'll be right back.
And just while Dago's taking a break, I want to let everyone know that Mom is doing a live stream tonight about the Axeman of New Orleans. That is a very wild case, and I really want everyone to go and join her live stream tonight. It's at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes, Tomboy. It was federal charges that he had been convicted of.
Sorry, I'm back. Absolutely, CZ. Very sweet lady. Very, very sadly lost. A very, very sad loss, I should say. Axeman, Jazz, The Great South, SK. 3 of my favorite things. Absolutely. Well, I was going to say it, but he beat me to it. So fine. Nobody ever talks. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Yeah, guys, please don't miss that tonight if you won't. If you can be there, please and thank you. It is so very much appreciated. Hold on a minute here.
Also, I'm going to self-promote a little bit at 4:15 Central Time. I am doing a premiere on a cult case, and I would love for everyone to be there.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I was going to say that too, but you beat me to it again as we were coming up to it. There's Mom's link for those of you that don't have it, guys. Please jump over there if you have not yet. Subscribe. Hit the like button, share it out. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss nothing that this lady does when she's hanging out on her porch. And from my understanding, it's 8:30 Eastern time every night, except for, how does she put it? I can't, when the creek rises or something like that. I can't remember what she said. It was funny though. As long as the creek doesn't flood or something like that. So yes, please go check it out if you have not. You will not be disappointed. It's always a good time over there. Good stuff, CZ. Good to hear that. You too, Jody. Thank you guys for that. She really appreciates it as much as we all do too. I promise you that. Oh, what's your conclusion on Jack the Ripper there, Arctic? Since we
Well,
talked about that.
the thing is, as old as that case is, and it's a Shaw that they tested to get the DNA off of, I'm not sure how they can conclusively prove that that Shaw is directly linked to Jack the Ripper, and it was never in a traditional chain of custody or anything, as far as I'm aware of. So, I mean, I'm not sure what the evidentiary value is with this DNA discovery.
Right, right. There's got to be a way, or at least a way for them to show proof that it came from that woman and how that it would have that man's DNA on it. I agree with that. But it's been around and around so many times, Cap. You know, I covered it here a couple years back deeply, and I looked at all the suspects and everything, and it's still, there's no way to prove it at this point. You know, if they have a way, any evidence that they still may have, which I doubt there's very little, is going to be so degraded. It's going to be hard, in my opinion. So that's another thing too, you know?
And of course, I'm skeptical because there's been so many people claim that their relative was Jack the Ripper
Right.
over the years and everything. It's just like in the Madeleine McCann case. This woman is still saying that she's Madeleine McCann, and supposedly there's been an anonymous source that tested DNA and linked her DNA to Madeleine's and da da da. Well, anytime that source is anonymous, I ain't buying it.
I agree. I agree. Why does it have to be anonymous? Show us the proof.
When law enforcement or McCann's family themselves come out and say that, yeah, there's been a DNA match, then I'll start promoting this new news that's come out.
Amen. Agree to that one. I do agree 100%. I do. So again, 8:30 tonight at Mom's. Arctic is having his premiere. You said 4 or 4:30?
It's 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern.
There you go.
Sorry, no. Hold on. God damn it. 4:15 Central. So I guess that would be, you're an hour ahead, so it'd be 5:15 Eastern. I don't know. My doctor's appointment's at 3, so I had to schedule it an hour out from what I usually do. So
all right, here we go. Let me see something here. Yes, I think that's right. I think you're right. I got a whole thing I've been looking at with this now. So there is Arctic's link too. To go with that. Again, most of you probably do have it. That sounds good, Taylor.
it's a case that Mom may be familiar with. It's Jennifer Kessie, who went missing out of Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I heard that. It's a pretty wild case too. Interesting. Good stuff. There is, again, Arctic's link, guys. And let's not forget, hold on a minute here. Bear with me, everybody. Even though Mama Bear is so quiet, she's still here. I swear she's sleeping. She just doesn't. She denies it, but that's okay.
I feel bad for Mama Bear because with us two loudmouths up here, she barely has a chance to get any words in edgewise.
I know. I try to shut up sometimes so she can. There is Mama Bear's link. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, she didn't get the link in today. But please go, if you have not yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like it, and share it out if you will, please. We've been trying to get her channel to grow more recently, and I really, really would like to see that happen. So please do go check it out if you could, if you will, because you know you should. I appreciate it very much. And so does she. And also, one second, I got another one I'm going to throw in here too. There's a bunch that I want to throw in here, but of course, the amazing Doodlebug does some amazing things when she has power to do them from her channel as well. There's her link. If you guys don't have that one, please jump over there, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell as well. If you haven't, please and thank you guys. I appreciate it so very much. You have no idea. All of these are amazing creators, amazing people. And please, please, please go check out Duchess's channel as well. I have that one in here somewhere. Give me a second here.
I'll go grab it real quick.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I never have. I have to go looking for it to find it. But we have Miss Sherry in here too. I'd like to put her link in there too if we could. I don't see a whole lot of blues in here. Actually, I only see Mom and Arctic actors right now, so everybody must have taken a sabbatical, which is okay. There's Dutchie's link right there, guys. Go check out Duchess for the Missing again. Amazing things, amazing things. I dropped Southern Gal's link in here earlier. Another great channel. So many great creators out here doing great things, and they are all appreciated so very much for what they do. Other than that, I think there's Miss Wisdom's link. Thank you guys for that as well. Taylor said 5:15, Arctic.
Okay.
There you go, guys. 5:15. I'm going to try to be there for that, too. I'm going to try to make both of these today. Mama Bear, anything to add before we take off? She might have stepped away again. Arctic, anything from you?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it.
What about freedom? What do we mean, Jody? What is freedom? Did I miss something? If I did, I'm sorry. Re-enlighten me, please. Freedom. Did I miss something?
I don't know. I was trying to figure it out too.
Is she still around the brick thrower? Take care, Josie. Thank you for joining us. What do you mean the brick thrower? I'm missing one little piece of info here, Jody. I'm lost. I'm sorry, dear. Dante's. Dante's. Okay. Oh, great movie. Great movie. I love that movie, Tandy. I don't know what you mean exactly, Jody. I'm sorry if I'm misunderstanding it. She used to be on your channel. Freedom? Do you remember somebody named Freedom?
I don't.
I don't either. I don't remember, Jody. I'm sorry. Slipped my mind. I usually remember everybody, but that name I don't remember. I'll have to ask somebody else, see if they can come up with it. I'll look into it, Jody, but we'll see for sure. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate every one of you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people and are so very much appreciated. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you guys here soon. That should do it. Everyone have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
shadows bringing wrongs to right, digging deep in the data, facts sharp as a knife. With every single story, he's fighting for a life. A voice for the voiceless, he won't stay quiet. Daniel's got the fire igniting the fight. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. Through the shadows he rises, streaming loud and clear. Cracking cases, open hearts filled with fear. These channels are beacon in a world gone wrong. He guides us through the chaos, a soldier so strong. The clicks and the lights, they follow his lead. With every new case, he plants a new seed. Sharing their stories, giving hope where it fades. Daniel's a warrior through the trials he waits. In a world of silence, he shouts out their names. Daniel's got the fire igniting the fight. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. From the shadows you rise, streaming loud and clear. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. From the shadows and lowlands, he won't let us fall. Bringing the truth out, answering the call. From every soul forgotten, he's here to stand tall. Daniel the genuine, will always give it his all. Daniel's got the fire igniting the fight. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every